I've almost quadrupled. We're on track to quadruple our sales this month from compared to where I started with the laundromat back in June or July 2019 till now. We've about quadrupled our sales. Is it sounding good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've had tech problems, unending tech problems in the stream that's on Danny D'Angelo, the King of Laundry's channel. In the description, if you want to follow it, his stream's running a little bit better than mine, quality-wise. But if we haven't gone over it real quick, and I talked to Danny about it earlier, and he's really excited about it. But I'm starting a actual show, a live stream show where you guys follow me around through a full day of me doing car wash stuff, laundromat stuff. It's kind of like an over-the-shoulder view of what's it like to be a CEO of a company and do all the stuff. So, like, as I'm going through dealing with a rental situation, like I'm doing something with my rentals or the trailer park or the laundromat or whatever, you can actually send me questions, and the intention is to answer your questions live because I've had so many people want to follow me around with my businesses. It's just there's no logistical way to do it with over 1 million followers. So now there's going to be a way for everybody to virtually follow me around as I do this stuff, which I think will be pretty cool. So
I spent the whole day with you, and once you get the YouTube live, you're like shot out of a cannon.
yeah, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
Gives me energy. I'm really excited. I was up for 21 hours yesterday, and today's not going to be much better. I'm just doing.
We haven't even started drinking yet.
Danny hasn't started drinking yet.
We.
Oh, yeah, if you want to read the comments.
Do you even know? I can't read from that far.
Okay. So.
Hi.
Do
any of these people know who I am?
This is Danny D'Angelo, the King of Laundry, and they are asking questions.
Self-proclaimed King of Laundry.
There you go. So what I would say is you might want to open up a stream on my computer, blow it up because people are asking you questions. Or no, let's not do that. I will ask you and say that you have a question.
You're so tech savvy.
I all by trial and error. I'm really good. You know, they
I'm
say
aware.
fake it till you make it. I am. If Danny's the king of laundry, I am the king of faking it till you make it. The question for you is, would you know if the laundromat game is different in Australia? This individual's doing their research, and it's hard to pick a good location. Any tips or places to get advice? I will say, where do you get advice from? Link in the description below.
So I want to answer your question in total, and first let me say that I ran an entire string of highly successful laundromats here in the Southwest, and I'm the guy who sold off all of my stores, could have walked off into the sunset. I've got land, real estate, that's the same thing, vacation properties, a yacht in San Diego. I'm not the guy that likes to talk about this, but Brandon wanted me to, and that's the purpose of the visit. When I got rid of my stores, I decided that I would not fade away, and I'm not a retirement guy. When I'm on the beach at my penthouse, my kids play in the water, and I go find something to fix. I'm just not that guy. I don't think I'll ever retire. So I started to teach and mentor and train people how to get into the business and how to do it right, how to do laundromats correctly. And one of my success stories that I call my prodigies is in Australia. His name is Neil Chantry. So again, to be crystal clear, not trying to pull anybody to my measly channel, Neil's story and his testimonial is on my YouTube channel. Love that guy. He's got all those Australian soliloquies. You know, he's as tight as a fish's ass, and you know, he says things like that. The laundromat business is not different there, but what I would say, do you know her name?
The person that asked
the Australian person?
Oh, you actually had two people from Australia.
Well, I love that. So it's the same everywhere. What you have to think about the consumer, and most laundromat operators don't. I think Brandon can attest to this with his store, that the previous operator didn't.
Yeah.
Most don't. So what you need to do is allow people to come in with dirty clothes and folding money and leave with clean clothes and no money. They're just chores. They don't want to be there. No one says on the cell phone, hey, I'm at the laundromat. Yeah, cool. I'm clout chasing here. they want to get in and out as quickly as they can. My big thing, you should never purchase an existing laundromat business, nor should you ever build one from scratch. The purchase, why would anyone sell a successful cash business? So there is some failure there, and they're selling that business. To build it, it's going to cost you a monumental sum. I learned this the hard way. I bought my first store for $250,000 and realized right away I shouldn't have bought that store. That's the beginning and not the end of that story, because most operators, 78% of US laundromat owners have one store.
That's insane.
What other business where 78% are mom and pop? First thing that comes to your head, what other business?
The only one that I know somewhat close is the storage locker business.
Storage locker business, okay?
But it's 70%.
At one of my live seminars, I can still see the guy's face. It was in LA. Guy raised his hand. He said, nail salons.
Oh, yeah.
Korean guy.
Oh,
and
my
he
gosh.
was right.
Okay.
And I said, sir, what do you do? He's like, I've got 13 nail salons.
Oh my
so he's
gosh.
one of the guys. But I said, so that means you've got 13 cousins that are running? And he laughed, because the truth is that is a service industry. So I don't know if that's too much answer, but
Yeah. I think people like the longer answer because they feel like you're actually trying to give somebody an answer rather than just a canned response. So
I could go on and on. This guy and I have become fast friends. I want to tell the story. I've been on YouTube for 15 years. I've been teaching, training, and mentoring people how to do this laundromat thing properly for 15 years. And do you know the day? Do you know the day when your first video went viral? Because I do.
It was, I think, October the 17th or October the 19th.
October 30th,
30th. Okay.
2019. This knucklehead has a video that goes viral. Now, I was never, and still am not, a YouTuber. I wasn't interested in that, foolishly. But what I was interested is, again, teaching the laundromat thing. So when his video went nuts, everything that I did went nuts, because people would see that and they'd go, oh, this is awesome. I want to collect coins. Then what happened?
Then everybody started asking me how to start a laundromat, and the intention has been to refer them to Danny, because if you go back and watch starting in April 2019 with me doing videos, you would see how much effort and time I've put into it. And we weren't getting the ROI on the laundromat really till 6 months ago. And if you watch my last collection video, now that we had Danny come in, he gave me the advice, and we're actually making some decent money, as opposed to kind of spinning our wheels, which we did for practically a year, dealing with vandalism issues and just equipment breakdowns. It just was an unending cycle. So,
the business is not hard. Australia, New York, LA. I've got successful students in 28 countries now. The Philippines, Nigeria, where they have rolling blackouts. It's simple. It's not easy. It's simple. I try to explain the everything, and that's what color to paint the walls, because it's important. It's not a hospital where you're trying to make people feel better. It's white, and not because you're trying to make them feel better, but because it's going to reflect the light better, and it's not hard. So many of these operators get into it, they don't have any clue what they're doing. They bought a bill of goods, and the minutia is important. I learned all of these lessons the really, really hard way. And some of the stuff that I talked to Brandon about, he implemented right away. Money started to change. Little things that you can do. Little things. Yeah. Moving the soda and snack machine the hell out of the front window, because the way thieves think. I mean, it's all there. And it's not rocket surgery. But if you do everything correctly, your next catapult is into multiple stores. Because you can have a job, and I did that. 6 years Navy, had every career you could imagine, and I was just sick of listening to people tell me what to do. And orders in the Navy were bad enough, but then listening to a bank manager tell me how to fill out my debits, just didn't like it. And I always looked at these folks and said, okay, they're happy in this career. I want something more. And became owning my own private investigation service, and then eventually having one laundry, and then realizing I can scoop these stores up for free. Yeah. The rest is, as they say, history. So I'm the guy that's saying, well, I did it. I did it well. I've got students that have 70 stores. That's
Wow, it's up to 70.
over, yeah.
Last time, the person he's talking about, I know.
It was 39.
Mm-hmm.
They personally have 40, and then their cousins and brother, the family's got 70. But they have 40 stores. 40 laundromats.
That's incredible.
Do the math. It's Scarface money.
Yeah. It's like presidential money coming in every single month. Or probably more than that.
Yeah. We all know what the president makes. Are we getting political? No.
No, not at all.
Sorry.
But it's a lot of money. Did you guys understand that? It's a lot of money. And, you know, to an extent, I've done a disservice on how much laundromats can make. But as time goes on, he gets on my case. He's like, your laundromat doesn't make anything, Brandon. I'm like, hey, we made $4,000 in 11 days. Still, he's like, Brandon, still.
I'm going to apologize ahead of time because I know this is Brandon's channel, and I'm from Brooklyn. I'm a boisterous guy, but I love this kid, and he and I get along really well. We've known each other for a very long time. We'll text each other at 3 o'clock in the morning.
He texts me at 3 o'clock in the morning. He's texting. He forgets I'm on Eastern Standard
He reads it at 6 o'clock my time.
Yeah, that's about
right. But there are. It's odd because I told the story about the early advent of Brandon, and then as he's doing these ASMR videos, people are saying, well, this store isn't making any money and it's not really worth his time. And then there's also the fact that Brandon is more interested, not more interested, but more, he's real estate, he's this, he's that, he's a trailer parks, and YouTube is huge for him. And so now he's realizing actual profits in that store. And I told him to burn that store down and go after a few of the others.
Yeah, and that was what Danny wants. Danny wants me to take over a couple other laundromats that he feels are better formatted, but I just don't want to give it the one up. But as we implement it, we're getting close to the numbers that we kind of talked about in the kind of the back room conversation. Danny won't mess with it. I want to continue doing it because it's good content for YouTube. And then as time goes on, I'm looking at probably at least 2 more laundromats.
Yes.
At least 2 more laundromats, and I think they meet most, if not all, the qualifications. Because he doesn't like the footprint of my laundromat. He wants a bigger, more open space where we can stack up more dryers, that it has a better flow. And without major surgery on the location, I can't do it on my YouTube laundromat. But if I get 2 more laundromats, and it'll become one of those
he
things
just called it his YouTube laundromat.
Yeah.
Come on. That's what you should name it.
I think everybody knows.
Do we have to talk about laundries?
We can talk about money and gold and finance and all that different stuff. I have people that ask me whether I do stocks very often.
That's the brand new 2021 coin.
Yeah. It's going to be blurry because the camera's not going to adjust.
It'll adjust.
Danny's will probably.
To me, physical assets are just. Yeah. Hi, I'm Sheldon Devane. I don't know. It's just hard to describe.
Yeah. Up until Danny came to Ohio, I'd never.
That's also $10,000, you know.
Yeah, I'd never held a physical gold eagle before, and it's shocking how heavy these little round gold pieces are. If you guys are familiar, well, they're a little bit bigger than a U.S. 50-cent piece, and these are each $2,000 a piece, and this one's in 1998. So I don't know about the numismatic value of 1998 pieces, but I know that if these were just silver eagles, they go well over just the gold value in them because of the fact that just because of the age on them,
silver
vintage, and I don't want to touch these because Danny showed me.
It's just bullion.
No, but they're 1989 silver eagles, and
the year I graduated high school.
I don't want to get them because these are all MS grade. And if you guys are coin nuts,
it doesn't matter. Look how sharp those are. They're so sharp.
I don't want to do it. It's so bad.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Now I've done it.
You broke my laptop.
I broke the laptop. Probably worse than PSA.
Absolutely.
Keep that one. Put it in your pocket. Okay. That's yours. Give me the lid.
You don't have to tell me twice.
And I didn't mean the gold.
Yeah, I'm.
It was funny because when I visited Ohio, is it Idaho?
He keeps going back to thinking that I live in Idaho.
Is it different?
Evidently, Ohio was not scenic enough for Danny to remember that I live in Ohio.
I showed up in the dark. It smelled like cabbage.
It did do
Are these people calling me an idiot yet? Because usually the crowd hates
no, we
me.
got Zurch Coins and AU. Investment Joy Love Your Channel, my friend. You learn a lot. He sells gold and silver.
Oh, very cool.
Sean Manor loves learning more about these free laundromats. Feel free to talk about whatever you want.
Thank you.
WT no, can't tell the difference between the thumbnail. I'm not sure about that. DIY Nexus, who's our moderator on here, he said there's a man in Louisiana that is freaking out because I touched those coins, because he's on our chat channel all the time. He's a big numismatic coin guy.
Yeah, but so what is numismatic? What does that mean?
Numismatic means that in 1986 they only made 10 million of those. So of the 10 million,
Yeah, but this is 89.
I mean, did I say 86?
You saying these 89s are worth something?
Yeah, they're worth over face value at this point.
How much?
Probably 35, 40 bucks.
Okay, big deal.
I mean, he's got a roll of
But
them. There's 20 in there.
I'm not trying to say that it's not a big deal. What I'm saying is that this is bullion to me.
Okay, so to Danny, it's bullion.
Right.
And he showed me he has a baggie. Like, it's one of my laundromat coin bags. He's got a baggie of silver 50-cent pieces. Now, I would be okay with throwing those ones around.
But hold on. Let's go back. The big green monster boxes, all right? A monster box is, please, you do the math at home. I'm not going to do it. There's 20 in a sleeve, and the monster boxes are a sealed U.S. Mint box, and it's 500 ounces. And I prefer to purchase my bullion that way. Now, someone might buy a big green monster box, cut the straps open, and then start pulling those out and looking for perfect MS-70 grade coins. I don't buy gold like this. My dealer got a bunch of these brand new ones. He sold this to me at spot.
Wow.
If you buy
That's
enough,
awesome.
This is probably, you can ask your
Danny.
guy, what is this, $200 more because it's in a piece
yeah.
of plastic? And so guys, the Mint makes coins. I've got a coin in there that's worth what?
It was marked 15
Yeah,
grand.
it was like $15,000, but it was a misstamp. So as the machines are going, or whatever, I don't even know.
But it was a rare barber half anyway.
I know guns. I don't know. I don't know gold.
So we had a paid super chat. Thank you, Michael Kowalski. He was asking if either of us deal with Laundry Boss. I have no clue what Laundry Boss
Don't know what that is.
Okay.
And I'm the self-proclaimed king of laundry.
If you want to send me some gold nuggets, Z-Rich coins, sure.
Gold nuggets?
Gold nuggets.
Is that a sexual thing? I don't
I hope
know what that
I'll get
is.
demonetized for that. But yeah, you want to send me gold, my P.O. box is on here if you want to mail it. It's P.O. Box 1184, Circleville, Ohio, 43113.
Cave Creek, Arizona. This guy was supposed to be here 2:30, 3 o'clock today.
Oh my gosh.
My address
I have
is
to talk about this.
Sleepy Ranch Road, and my address is public. You're not going to come here and get gold and silver. You're going to end up in a bad place, but that's neither here nor there.
Anyway.
Oh God,
I
gated
had to
community.
bypass. I had a hard time with the gate.
So this guy texts me at 3:30. Is it Sleepy Hollow? No, bro, I'm not Ichabod Crane. It's Sleepy Ranch. So he's in Mesa, Arizona. Tell him.
In a skeevy trailer park that looked like it was from Breaking Bad, and I was like freaking out. I'm like, this is a setup. There was a excavator, like a large excavator / bobcat, very oddly positioned behind a shipping container. And I was like, I can see it now as a dead-end road. There's a destroyed single wide at the end of the no outlet road. And I'm like, I'm going to get up to that address, and that excavator is going to pull in behind my car, and it's going to block me in.
You had all these thoughts?
Yeah. My life flashed before my eyes because I saw a single wide trailer, and I knew that there was a problem. And I looked at I backed up very carefully.
What's your assistant's name? Amy?
Kim.
Kim? Thanks, Kim.
Yeah, Kim typed in the wrong address. So it was a very odd thing. I was like, oh my gosh, this is not good. There's a problem going on here. And then I looked and it wasn't Sleepy Hollow Road.
Sleepy Ranch.
Darn you, Google Maps.
All right, AMA. What do you want? You got to go to my channel because it's the only one I can read, King of Laundry. And if you're on there, my people, my measly people, I love you all, You can ask me what you want me to ask Brandon while he's having his people ask me whatever they want. I like that idea.
Okay, sure.
Eric, God bless you. Eric, I'm assuming it's Danzisian, Zanzisen. But Eric, you're a good man. This is his local milk, bro. This is a big deal. Milk in a glass container. And he just snapped up my Cleaning Up in Laundromats program. I had a DVD that I sold, and I still do. I still have a physical DVD. And I have come to the understanding with Brandon's help and others that the world is a digital age now. So we took this and we put it on the line. And yes, Eric, I got your order, and I'm going to give you an extra 200 hours of my Landlord Call Club calls.
Cool. Oh, cool.
That's as close as I get to a commercial.
The show has logged on. Hi. I see a check mark by your name. That means you're very special, so thank you for commenting. Taylor asked me what person made me bald, and I will blame it on someone's genetics I've never met. I don't know whose genetic function caused the problem. Laundry Boss is a service where your customers can pay for their washers and dryers digitally. Now that they've jogged my memory, I think it's a QR code they put on washers and dryers, and it will cycle the machine with a AirPay type.
So are they trying to sell us something, this person?
They're specifically asking about non-coin-based, coin-operated laundry.
Don't do it.
Yeah, that's what Danny says.
Let me explain. And this is a phenomenal question for the ages, right? You and I don't frequent laundromats. I don't, you don't. Most of the potential investors or people that have dreamed of owning a laundromat simply don't frequent them. So a salesman will stand in front of you for an hour and talk to you about how wonderful a card reader store is. You take your debit card, you swipe it. It's great for you, the operator, the owner of the laundromat. And it is. Mm-hmm. That salesman will go on and on for an hour and a half about how lovely it is that you can give 39-cent washes on a slow Tuesday. Yeah. And it's true. That distributor / salesman who's selling you a bunch of equipment is going to tell you how wonderful it is that you don't have to get your hands dirty with this filthy money. And it's true. They'll talk to you about how you can now digitally deposit all of your money. And it's true. Now, they might go 2 hours into this discussion to sell you a $90,000 system. You know what they don't mention once? You know what I never mentioned here? That pesky customer. A haphazardly run laundromat across the street from a nice, newer, equipped store with card readers, most consumers want to go to the cash store. Think about the low-income folks that can't afford a washer dryer at home. They don't want to spend $1.50 for an RF card. Before they can swipe, they have to buy the card. Now, you might get it down to 75 cents if you, the operator, buys 10,000 of those cards. I'm passionate about everything that I already know and still understand, and I'm learning every day about the laundromat business. Passionate, and I won't steer you wrong. So there's my answer. Don't ever add anything electronic. Also, what's in a laundromat? Heat and water. Mm-hmm. Is that what your computer guy tells you that you want around your card reader, your RF? $90,000 systems. When I first started this, I knew right away it didn't seem right. It didn't pass the smell test. They're still selling those systems.
Oh, yeah.
You know what they do now? They're both card and cash. Yeah. So that's extremely telling. We went from only cash to pushing card stores on people to now, you can have both. Yeah. Why would you want both?
Yeah, and the hybrid systems are more expensive.
Again, we apologize for what we want. I love to talk about laundries.
Yeah. Okay, so Taylor Marston asked, do you have any thoughts on Tesla?
Me?
Yeah. Yes, question for both.
Tell them about my truck.
It is a Dodge Ram that says war instead of Ram on it, and it has machine guns all over it and samurai swords, and I took a lot of video of it. It's cool. It's like lifted 3 feet off the pavement. We could probably.
I like how you like to look at my screen over here.
It's because yours is bigger and mine's darker. It's awful.
I'm trying to focus on your camera, and you're looking at my screen.
Guys.
That's awesome.
Terrible.
You're terrible at this.
Yeah.
I don't, to be honest, I've heard nothing but good things. And if you mean the stock, I just explained. I don't, my wife's a former stockbroker, so she's all into it. There's always Fox Business on in the house, playing through all the speakers. Yeah. I like physical assets, vacation properties. I don't do real estate any longer because I just don't find it enjoyable. But I'll buy a property, a penthouse, vacation property, and then we stay there when we want, and we rent it out the rest of the time. But I think Teslas are probably phenomenal cars.
Yeah. So I like Tesla, the company. I got a Cybertruck on order, and like I've got like.
Oh, you're not going to ever buy that.
Oh, I'm totally am. And I got like 20% of my primary investment account in Tesla. We have a lot of comments about my Slayer shirt. You've got a Slayer shirt on. I don't have my Slayer shirt on because I wore it on the two podcasts yesterday. So it's dirty. I got to get it washed. Do I like Slayer? I like Slayer, but I like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden more. I like Slayer enough to say "Seasons in the Abyss" is a better song than "Rain and Blood." And I don't understand why people just go all out for Rain and Blood.
I'm a lot like the 14 and 15-year-old girls today who wear the concert T-shirts and don't know anything about the band. I know that's a trend now. I wore this for Brandon. I have a question from my channel, and I swear this isn't a setup. Danny, explain again for the people who bought the DVD and are on the call club how they get access to the new content. You're asking, and that's all it takes, so email me. When you get my newsletters, just email me on the newsletter and say, bro, hook me up, and I'll put you right in the system. It's easy.
Samith, I'm sure I'm wrong on your name. You said you have an option to be a truck driver for $10,000. I'm guessing that's a year, maybe it's a month, or a software developer making $5,000, or maybe that's a month. I don't know, month, year. I don't know what country you're in, because I noticed on the start of the stream we had a lot of international people. So I don't know what country you're in. So it's between a truck driver that makes more money, software developer that makes less money. It depends on your personality. Saving money and investing. I'm more driven on personality than I am anything else.
I'm full of that.
Because I've ran into people that they would be miserable as a coder, or they'd be miserable in technology, but they would be a kingpin for running a laundromat or a vending business. Or there's some people, you should never do anything but stock investment. And you should just work a 9 to 5 your whole entire life and do stock. I'm not saying that everybody should do that, but I think that's like, there's people that should be doing things like that, because they'll go out and we've got a paid question here.
That's an exceptional answer.
They'll go out and they'll overpay for a laundromat.
That's a really good answer, because they're asking you about a job, and I call job just over broke. No matter what you do, you'll never overcome that situation. Face it. You get a better job, you get a better car, you get a bigger payment. If you're a ditch digger taking the bus to work every day and you're happy whistling while you work, God bless you. You've also got a surgeon across town who drives his Corvette to the hospital, parks it in the garage, and goes up and hates his life. If either of them figures out how to own the ditch digging company, or become the surgeon that writes a book or teaches people how to become a better surgeon, or goes and decides he wants to become a ditch digger, they're both going to be happier. Yeah. But people that have money say dumb shit like that, don't they?
So we have a paid comment, and I promise this is not fake, because I would not spend $4.99 to ask this question. This is a better question for Danny, but I know his answer. I want to buy a laundromat. Reaction time. I want to buy a laundromat in the $200,000 to $250,000 range. I have enough cash to pay half up front and upgrade the laundromat for $20,000 to $30,000. I want to do this, but limit risk. Is it a good idea?
No. Next question. Pay another $4.99. Look, dude, go to my channel. This is not what I'm here for. You get that. I've been on YouTube for 15 years. I have people's testimonial videos on my channel from 2009. Yeah. I never monetized my channel, ever. This guy becomes the #1 laundromat influencer All these words, they get jumbled in my mouth. They get stuck in my craw. I can't even tell you which. I've got testimonials from people. So I had a couple in Florida. She was a high-end shoe saleswoman. Okay, you know the type of store. Needless markups, right? Neiman Marcus. You're not from New York. She worked her entire life. They communicated with me. They said, look, we're going to buy a laundromat for $250,000. Okay, do you have the money? No, we can come up with half, their entire life savings. They wanted to give that half of their money to this operator selling their laundromat. Okay? I said, don't do it. We looked at the numbers. None of the numbers ever make sense. The P&L statements never make sense. But you don't frequent laundromats. You don't understand laundromats. You're dealing with a business broker who sells not only laundromats, but nail salons and national chains. Try not to get into the weeds here because I'm passionate. You know what they did? We started calling landlords in existing decrepit laundromats. It cost $250,000 to build the store. Gas, water, electric, permits. You know, in LA County, it's $56,000 to put a washing machine in. In a house that's $800,000 for a 2,000 square foot junker, in a house you don't notice the $56,000. Try to build a new laundromat in LA County. Never going to happen. What we do, call the landlord. We're not taking some old Korean operator and throwing them out the front plate glass window in their laundromat. No, no. We're giving them an exit. I've got dozens of videos on my channel where I literally call landlords who also operate their laundromats, who scoop them up for free because their tenant left, and I get them to admit, usually in 8 or 9 minutes, that their $250,000 asking price is moot because they're not earning. And then I say, well, you're telling me you're making $3,000 a month? I'll give you that. How much are you allocating rent to yourself? Nothing. Sir, you want me to give you $250,000 for a business and you keep the building. Start giving you $2,000 in rent. Now I'm losing $2,000 from what you're saying you're earning. Then I have to retool. Back to the way we do it. None of this is a secret. I just put all of the information in one place. Let me guess, you know nothing about laundromats. I want to hear back from you. Get out and scout existing decrepit stores. This is not a house on a hill or a diamond ring for your lovely fiance. It's a business. Scoop up the stores through a lease negotiation or have me do it. Retool the store. Every dime you spent, all that money you want to do and you want to spend on a retool an existing store. The last lease I closed was when?
Did you say this morning or was it yesterday morning?
Yesterday.
Yesterday morning.
On my channel, we do a live call, closed leases. Coast to coast, almost all 50 states and 28 countries, Australia. I'm glad that you are here. I swear to you. Please sign up for my free newsletter. Yeah. Email me. Or buy the course through his link so he gets some money.
So I can make a little bit of money off of it.
Very little.
Yeah. So that I knew that.
I could sit here and blast about all of the stories. The people that get to me and they say, well, I'm going to spend $300,000 on this laundromat because it's a tax write-off. Yeah. Give me the $300,000. Yeah.
I'll start a charity, a 501c3. You can give the money to me. Brandon's vacation fund.
Buy me yet another fat gold Rolex. I'd be thrilled.
Yeah, he's got a few gold Rolexes I've seen today. I don't remember seeing any gold ones, but they look really, really nice.
I don't really like gold that much. Gold. I'm not that Italian.
So, okay, you're in Westerville, Jenny. Congratulations. You've been saying OH, and I meant to say IO, but we were talking every single time. It's an Ohio thing.
Yeah.
For the Buckeyes.
What's high in the middle and round on both sides?
Yeah, it's Ohio. So we've had several people talk about their trucking business, which that's cool. My dad was a trucker. He drove truck for 15 years, I think. So do I inspect my coins for rare coins? Very, very minimally. The problem there is just how many coins I get. In the past month, we've probably collected between all my businesses $6-7 grand in quarters. Just quarters, not bills. And it's just I can't sort through it. So if you watch my stuff on my channels, I've been just going to scales on everything.
Yes.
So we just scale everything out except vending machine money because sometimes there's dimes and nickels that get thrown and we just recycle it in. Oh, TV and show is east of Columbus. That's amazing. I'm from Circleville. It's not really much of a secret.
I never counted the coins in my stores. Never.
I mean,
Never.
unless if I didn't have the YouTube channel, it probably would have lost its luster after probably 4 to 6 months because it's been too time consuming. But now I'm spending 30 minutes
ASMR
a week. Like the kind of, if this is a secret, this is a secret. If it's not a secret, it's not a secret. Like however much video content you see on my laundromat on YouTube, have spent 3 times that. So I have 22-minute video about my laundromat for the month of November. I spent maybe 66 minutes the whole month so far doing everything with the laundromat. So it's pretty cool. How much does it get one of those soda machine thingies? $600. We've got a lot of links in the bio.
I had 30 of those and I never paid for one, so I beg to differ.
The Pepsi machine I've got I never paid for. Because when I took the location over, it came with one. So we just cut the lock off of it. Should I say that? Anyway.
Yeah, you got to cut the lock off.
Was I always wealthy? Did you have a financial breakthrough in life? I grew up very poor. My dad was a truck driver. My mom sold Avon. We got evicted twice, and then I got in real estate and investment and have kind of ended up to this point. And as it stands now, one of my company investors, we've got a couple rentals, and we do money transactions and stuff together. He was the landlord that evicted my family when I was 6. So
sounds like you've told that story more than... You're probably asking me. Everybody knows your story.
Well, you want to talk about your story?
I think the reason that I'm so into physical assets and gold and silver, et cetera, is because we were middle class for a very long time. Then I was 13, my parents got divorced, and my dad was a drug dealer. Yeah. Cool guy. Only sold to his friends. That was the story. Brooklyn, New York. He passed away at 69 years old, and so now I can tell these stories. But growing up in that environment, I just recently had a breakthrough and realized myself that we were homeless for 3 months. Mm-hmm. My sister turned 19 and moved out, and my mother and I rented a car and went on the Pacific Coast Highway on a surfing trip. And I recently realized that I had one shirt and that the police were knocking on our door at night because we were sleeping in parks. And God bless her, my mother also had a drug problem and got clean, got a job at Southwest Airlines. 28 years later, she would retire. She had a 4-digit ID, Southwest Airlines, flight attendant. Incredible. And got her act together. So, Mom, if you're out there, no, we didn't have stuff or things growing up. So more than once in my life, I've been down to the felt. And now when we go to Vegas, I'm playing with dollars, which means $100 checks. And my wife is all on my case because she's like, no, don't do that. Don't throw that money on the table. I just like it. I enjoy it. So one of my least favorite things, rich kids. And now I've created 3 of them.
Yeah.
My daughter, my 18-year-old, works very hard. She's a competition shooter. She has a massive following.
Yeah, she's got like 153,000 on Instagram last time I checked, which is incredible because I don't have that many people on Instagram.
You don't care about Instagram.
I do care about Instagram, but I'm not nearly as popular as I'd like to be on it.
Ask me on my channel what you want me to ask. I have a question for you, Brandon. Tell me something that has never come out publicly about yourself.
We've talked about firearms a lot. I'm a big firearms guy, which you know that. But
you don't really talk about that.
I don't talk about it on YouTube too much.
Wow, that's a real tear jerker. Thanks.
It's a tear jerker. Oh, okay. Well, you wanted a tear jerker. I don't know.
I'm giving your people the interview that they want. That's what I'm doing. It doesn't have to be. No, it doesn't have to be something that special. I'm just wondering. So you're from Central Ohio.
I've lived.
You've never been west of the Mississippi.
West of Mississippi, other than we were in Seattle, Washington. I said
never took your family to Disneyland?
No.
I apologize ahead of time for interrupting, but that's what I do.
Never went to Disneyland. We were planning on going to Disney World last year, but due to coronavirus, we weren't able to do it.
Everyone, please donate $4.99 so Brandon can take his kids to Disneyland for the love of God.
His daughter's channel is oh my gosh, Daniela D'Angelo. I will post it in the comments.
This is this year's car firearms catalog. Oh, we probably shouldn't get into this kind of thing. Oh, it's live though. So you said they don't care.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and it's why I'm building the show, because YouTube is so much more flexible on live streams, because we could talk about firearms or we could talk about spoonies, but I'm not ready to do that yet. But we could talk about spoonies and issues like that on YouTube Live, and I'm not going to get demonetized. Look up Thunder Valley Precision, just north of Cambridge. Yeah, I'm aware of Thunder Valley, but last time I checked, it's hard to get in there to go do much.
Anyway, Daniela D'Angelo.
D'Angelo.
D-A-N-Y-E-L-A.
I think that I posted her social right in the chat.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really nice of you.
Yeah. So,
we make lots of high-end videos and do fun stuff for her channel. That's completely blurry.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The focus, I think, is locked on my camera for some reason. And
you should fix that.
Wow.
My people are important. They care. As long as it sees your face, it's not going to focus. All right, more questions.
So, make enough money to go to Disneyland. I can't. My problem is, it's like I'm at a point now, I want to figure out how to make money off of going to Disneyland. And I'm supposed to go to a conference next year, like in Long Beach. Someone just gave me $5 for Disney Fund. Please don't tell my wife. She's going to make me set up a Disney Fund. How to raise a 4-year-old with money. So here's a really cool story, and we need to clip it out. So my kids did a craft show last weekend. They baked homemade bread and they did chocolate. And they did not sell anything. I told my kids, I'm like, you have to do a lot more than just take food to a craft sale to make money. And my kids are great at making bread and things of that nature. And I said, you have to sell. And they said, but we make crayon signs, and they're really cute little signs that say, please buy our bread for $5 a loaf or whatever it was. And they'd done the math on they were making a 65% margin on each piece of bread sold, or every bread loaf sold. And I said, all right, guys, I've got to teach you a sales script. So we're going to walk around the building, and you're going to go up to the people at the craft show and say, hi, my name is, insert name. I did
Slim Shady.
I did this with my 12-year-old and my 10-year-old. I said, hi, my name is insert name. Me and my sister have spent the last week making fresh baked bread and chocolate. Would you please come and buy some? We're only charging $5 a loaf. My kids made $80 an hour. And the thing was about that time was they were very uncomfortable doing those things because they're like, we don't want to talk to these people. And I said, guys, you can sit here at the craft show.
You want the money.
You can sit at the craft show for the next 3 hours and not make any money. You've made $8 in 1 hour. And I said, or we can go and we can sell to people. And I said, it's going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to like it, but at the end of the day, you're going to end up with money. And if you guys have watched me on TikTok,
sell me this pen,
we had this, Belfleur. Yeah, we had this whole thing with my kids wanting to buy a Switch, and because I'm not going to buy them a Switch. I want them to pay for it themselves. They both made enough money in one day selling homemade stuff to each buy their own Switch. And I'm not sure that I'm going to do it, but it's possible. So we got some questions here. Thanks, Bo Fubum. You subbed and you hit the bell. Make sure you subscribe to Danny on the King of Laundromat, and hit the link to his channels in the description below. Tom can get you in. It's K Talk About Firearms. I'll hold one up for a show or on live stream. It's on my channel, delete from YouTube. I do not think it is, but I'm not willing to test it. But
what? Who? What?
Worth Matt and Roman on Demolition Ranch. Is that Demolition Ranch? So anyway, people are asking questions. Unfortunately, I'm trying to concentrate on the story and explain to you guys the story of the.
Put this mic back where it was. I went and moved it, and I think I screwed it up. Sorry. So, we're very new to this.
Yeah. How did I take a company from $500K to $200 million? Get on my Discord and tell me about it. We'd have to talk about it, but I mean, sell more.
What kind of company?
Yeah.
I want to hit on that. How do you take your company from $500K to $2 million? I guarantee that you need to get more people involved, because that's, I don't know, I can't speak on it, but normally if you've got a $500,000 company, you're probably doing all the work. Yeah. You've got to get outside your comfort zone, put some people in place. So here's the hard part about that. You're going to have to give away a bunch of that $500K next year in order to get yourself to 2 million. Am I wrong? I don't know. Come back and comment. People get stuck. They're making 500,000. Look, I negotiate leases.
Yeah.
You hire me, I get on the telephone and I make the calls. Now, I know damn well I'm going to get sick of that someday. Not anytime soon. I love it.
Yeah.
But when that happens, I'm going to have to rip a Band-Aid off, put a team of people in place that do it, and then I'll come in and be the closer. I know that already. Mm-hmm. So the answer for me, and most people that own a business, put more good people in place, good people, and step back. In a few years, you'll be making that 2 million, and you'll also be less important in the company, if that makes sense.
And that's why I have a full-time assistant. And I told her, I said, Kim, within the next 6 months, you've got to be ready to have your own personal assistant, so that you can.
You're gonna have a stream of assistants.
I have like 2 assistants, and it was hard for me to give up that money to hire somebody to do it. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do this?
Yeah.
Which everybody told me, like, once you get an assistant, you're going to want another one. Totally right. So that's true.
My dad was we did odd jobs, and I was 14 years old going around in this old Chevy van swinging a hammer with my dad, and that's how I learned. I did all the woodworking in this office.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Well, thank you. And I remember years before he passed, we're using a DeWalt screw gun to make a deck, and he looks at me, he says, how the hell did we ever do this without screw guns? I'm like, hammer and nails, Dad. You wonder how, come on. I don't even think I own a hammer.
Awesome. Lots of questions. You're hoping that you have less maintenance issues with car washes in the future. My car washes are going great. We're doing very, very well with them. Very thankful. It's just that the repetitive stuff I'm not posting on TikTok or YouTube, because it just does. It gets boring at some point. But we're doing very, very well overall.
What is someone's asking on my channel, what's your impression? And I'm taking this out. I see that John keeps on talking about side hustle this and side hustle that. So I have a question for you. Sure. Pretend like I just came from Mars and somehow understand English. What's a side hustle?
Side hustle is like if you've got a 9-to-5 job, a side hustle is finding some other way other than your 9-to-5 to make money on the side, to get into some sort of...
Never. So John, I have to take umbrage with your comment when you're saying the guy's thinking small, trying to take he's making $500,000 in whatever this business is. I doubt he's cleaning pools, and I'm not picking on you, but saying that he should get some side hustles and he's thinking small. No, he's talking about taking whatever that work is and quadrupling it. And maybe it's a 10x. Everybody's got their thing. To me, this constant talk of side hustle, that's a hobby.
Yeah.
That's a hobby. If I want to build my laundromats to where I can sell them for tens of millions of dollars, that's the last chapter in my downloadable content. The last chapter, what do we do now? Well, if you've got 30 laundromats and one of them's a total dog, you probably couldn't or shouldn't sell that store for any decent amount of money. But if I'm selling you 30 laundromats, you'll take the dog.
Yeah.
And that dog's going to eventually find a bone.
Yeah.
Mixed metaphor? I don't know.
No, I think it's fine because what you're...
Side hustle. Side hustle, you're right. I think that's a term that comes out of, I think the type of person that basically wants 50 side hustles, and they're working harder on that.
But from what I see...
Own the company.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately your goal needs to be run a company, but I run into a lot of people, at least on my channel, that they have very minimal understanding of how to start a business. So my thing is getting them in something, even if it's freaking mowing yards. Which out here in Arizona, that would not work well at all.
You could rake people's rock. Yeah. You're right, because own the company. That's the 3 words. Own the company. If you, like you said, anything, your work. Are we keeping you up?
No.
You're boring him, folks.
No, I'm reading.
Whatever it is, as soon as you can get there. I've had consultations. I have phone consultations with people that want to get in laundromats. I don't know how many of them I'd said, you know what you do now is really great, and you should work harder on it. Years later, they come back to me. Been doing it a long time, well over 15 years, I hear back. I had a guy that wrote a best-selling novel because he had a story to tell. Just got
We've
quiet.
got Kevin said he wants to jump into laundromats, but Danny's reach is too strong in his area. Do you think that's true? Are
That's not true.
Danny followers so
No.
powerful that they pushed a guy out of the?
Oh, my reach is so strong. Not my personal reach, but my reach. So you're wrong, and we're not having a two-way conversation. I have heard from many, many people, oh, I can't go out and scoop up a free laundromat with your system because too many of your people are running around here. Never happened. Got a guy with 7 stores in upstate New York, 8 stores in Florida, Miami area. Mm-hmm. These are densely populated areas. Got a gentleman who's probably on one of our channels in Los Angeles County, 3 stores. Wow. He's going to name his son after me. I mean, millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
Can't imagine the amount of revenue you'd make in LA.
3 free incredible. Laundromats. That's
incredible.
You know, it's kitschy. It's a hook. Nothing's free. No, you're going to pay for the equipment. The same, like I said, your store, the equipment probably costs as much as my Denali.
Yep.
So
right.
You're going to buy your wife a Denali or a Cadillac Escalade? God bless you. Hold off on the Escalade for a little while. Keep driving the beater until you can actually afford to pay cash for the car. Life is good. Aren't you here to sell like gold in a vault or something?
Well, I mean, it rolls through on the screen. If you want to get, you text me gold to the 740-217-4809, and we'll get you in on it. But you'll get a text from me later on that.
Is my link up here? My clickable link?
Well, it doesn't show on the screen, but if you go in the description of the video, it's the second link, I think.
Everything that I do has been guaranteed from the beginning, and I think that's a really important word. I'm not a professional marketer. I did not graduate college. I was a missile technician in the Navy, so I guess you could call me a rocket scientist, but I digress. I think people like Brandon and I are just destined to do our own thing, whatever that thing is, and you need to come on in, the water's fine. So for me, when I started to sell intellectual property, mm-hmm. which is what it is, mm-hmm. print was dying, and I had a ghost writer writing my story about my private investigation days. And yeah, that whole thing just died because one day, he's also my financial planner to this day.
Oh, wow.
And he writes books. And hi, Jeff. And he said, why are you doing this? And I said, to make money. And he said, don't write a book to make money. You have to be passionate. He says, hell, we could write a book about your laundromats. And we shelved the project. I remember the day. It was in this office. And we shelved the project. And I started thinking seriously about doing this. And so again, all of my information is 100% guaranteed. You buy it through his link, he gets a few bucks, which he doesn't need. But if you are dissatisfied or feel like you didn't learn anything, you'll be the first one to ever ask for a refund from me. Because I sent you the DVD, and you didn't watch it.
9 months for me to watch it, and then I watched it, I was like, holy crap.
We were texting back and forth about stuff and things and, mutual hobbies, and had become friendly. Mm-hmm. And then he texts me and says, holy crap, I should do my brand impression. Holy crap, I watched the DVD. There's a lot of stuff in here about operating a laundromat. I thought it was just about how to get them for free. Nope. And then he started looking at his store differently. And then, that was why I went to Ohio. And then I said, yeah, I'll work with you. Finally, you paid attention.
Hey.
Who are you waving at over there?
I'm just excited.
Oh, that's your excited pose?
People that Danny's on. So, everybody is asking about cards yet again.
Danny's the kind of guy who has mustard stains on his pillow.
I have no clue what that means.
Absolutely, Dennis. No. You've got me to. If that has a deeper meaning, God bless you. But I do have mustard stains on my pillow.
That's an interesting question. Danny, have you ever had 2 clients attempting to get the same store?
Oh, don't read that aloud.
No.
Kidding. I have never had a conflict where two clients try to get the same store. Let me say this, Ron. There are tons of laundromats in every city, town, constabulation, everywhere. The closest I've ever come to a conflict was having one student pass on a store and making the mistake of telling another student about that store.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I almost became a broker, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
here's why it was a conflict. I didn't live there. I had never seen this laundromat. My system, I hate that word, my process starts with scouting these locations. So I told the student about it. He was hungry. He went. We wrote a letter of intent together, which is part of what I do for you. And he sent the LOI out. And everything just seemed too easy. And I said, bro, you need to look closer at the other stores in the area, okay? Because one of the things I talk about is a laundromat killer, a brand new store a few blocks away. So my student who I gave this address to was driving in from one direction and looking at the store and thought everything was great. Then he went home, like time to make the donuts. You go there. He never drove 2 blocks in this other direction. There was a brand new laundromat that was just built, and this landlord knew it. See how this turned? So I do not do that anymore. I never tell you, hey, here's a store. I don't do it.
Have you ever been to Pennsylvania? There's a real complicated one.
Dennis let us off the hook, and he said, I'm just playing. I watch your videos all the time.
Oh,
good info.
okay.
He watches videos on my channel. Have I ever been to Hershey, Pennsylvania, bro? You've never been to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I've been to Pennsylvania. I've driven through Hershey, but we didn't do anything.
We have so much in common. Really, really.
I wish I knew somebody that lived in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
There's a lot of Amish in Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir.
Why do you ask? Reminds me of a joke. Do you know that Indian joke?
So.
Native American?
No.
Come on, let's get the let's see. All right. Fast AF. Here's the lightning round. I'm going to get Brandon to drink a cider right now. My watch is a 1986 Rolex Submariner. Fun one.
Seems like everybody has Submariner. I've talked to has Submariner.
Not in 1986?
Nothing about them whatsoever.
Don't get involved. It's a
Seems
horrible.
like a very, very expensive hobby.
You know the way a friend of the family or your dad perhaps will sell his 57 Coronet and he never forgives himself for it. So I had a 1998 GMT stainless Rolex Pepsi, they call it, because it's blue and red dial.
Huh.
And I bought it right. I got it on like eBay. I wish I could go back in time. And I bought it for like $4,000. I sold it for $5,000. Now they're worth $14,000.
Oh
yeah, and that gets you because you're like, ooh.
Oh yeah.
So
Missed opportunity.
this, Doug Moreno, this watch I paid $1,800 for.
Oh wow.
1986 sub, runs like a friggin' top, and this is worth $11,000.
Very nice.
But we don't have a time machine. So back to money, are you going to go out and buy a bunch of $2,000 gold coins today? Well, if you're like me and you're into physical assets, put a couple grand into these. And for the love of God, don't keep them in your basement. Don't keep them in a shoebox. Criminals know. They know where to find this
They know
stuff.
to look for shoe boxes, guys.
Yeah.
That's Danny's warning.
Next question.
What's your favorite business all the time? I mean, we know what Danny's is.
Yeah, we know mine. Now, my favorite business, restaurants, because I isn't that an odd answer? I would never own a restaurant.
Yeah.
But I love the aspect of it. And I also want to say, you're probably like this. I'm a big movie fan. I love films. And if there's business in the film, I'm gaga. And I mean, look at Goodfellas. Best movie of all time, right? Not because I'm a New York Italian, but it's all about business. It's all about making money. And The Wolf of Wall Street, all about money. He's trailing off. We got to get him a longbow.
Now I'm trying to keep track with the questions and make sure that we.
There's so many. How many people are listening, watching?
We're at like 120 concurrents, and I'm not sure how many people have checked in so far.
120 people?
Yeah, currently on the stream.
120.
Yes.
That's all you have.
Yeah.
Are you sure this is the right channel?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. So
I'm doing good. I got 16.
there you go.
Let's get to the nitty gritty, the real stuff. Are those the questions you're reading?
Yeah.
But you're just reading them from your phone.
I'm reading them from my phone because
it's
easier.
Can't see that far.
Yeah. Plus, if there's one I want to, I can moderate it out of there. So restaurants are labor intensive, which I agree with. My wife actually managed a restaurant for 4 years. She did, I guess, a pretty good job with it. She was at the end of her tenure there. She was even telling the boss what to do.
What time did you leave Vegas this morning?
I left Vegas at 6 a.m.
What time did you get to bed?
Midnight.
That's not so bad.
Yeah. I need more caffeine in me. That's the problem.
I have caffeine.
I'll be in Discord later. Yeah.
Here's
Latte.
That's the first iced latte I've ever made.
Poor guy.
Had to make you an iced latte.
Thoughts on franchising a restaurant like McDonald's? McDonald's needs $3 million cash sitting in an account for you to open one beyond the construction costs. So
The only reason you want to open a franchise is because you know nothing about business. Nothing. Can you make a better hamburger than McDonald's? Yeah. Anyone can. But there's still advertising during the Super Bowl where this guy's famous because of the advertisers here. Think about that. The world is changing rapidly. Yeah. And if there's some kid on this stream, first of all, you should be in bed. It's a school night. But that's, I think, the person. I've got a 17-year-old student in Colorado who got a free laundromat living in his parents' house. I wish I was that kid at 17. I was chasing chicks.
At 17.
Oh, well, of course.
Brandon to drink another Mike's Hard lemonade on the stream. I don't think that he keeps this in this house. DIY Nexus. He would probably have a fit.
What? Danny, do you put coin pushers in your laundromat? He knows the answer to that.
Yeah, he does not like
adamantly against the coin pusher thing. It's great for a YouTube thing, and it's fun because, somebody broke into my coin pusher. But honestly, that's like saying, do you rent movies at your restaurant? It's just, for me, run the best laundromat that you can. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll put no more than 2 stand-up video arcades in there, and that's just to give people something to do. And they're such a huge pain in the ass because they get broken into all the time. Yeah. Because kids come in, and it's the mentality of them. The kid sees, 40 people in there on a Sunday using washers and dryers. Mm-hmm. That's where the money is. Yeah. It would stand to reason that's where you want to break into. But they're very difficult to break into those coin boxes we were talking about earlier today. So what do? They take a crowbar and they pop open the Pac-Man machine. Mm-hmm. And it's made out of balsa wood, basically, and they pull $50 out of there. So I put, again, in my materials, I use proximity rattle alarms. Now everything's wireless. So you alarm it, and even during the day, you set those alarms so they go off if somebody messes with it.
Yeah. And thankfully, we've been able to up our security a lot on the laundromat. But it'll be interesting when we go 24/7 on our being open all day, all night long, to see if any.
Are you literally falling asleep?
No, I'm fine. I'll live.
What are all these questions? Are they just not good questions?
Well, no, it's just they're coming in too quick, and I don't want to interrupt you.
Oh,
as you're responding.
Please interrupt me.
Danny, what kind of gel do you use?
There's nothing in my hair. My kids make fun of me for the stuff I put in my hair, but then otherwise it's an afro. One of his people said I had hair plugs the other day, which I take umbrage to.
I'm not sure which stream that was on.
But, this is a date, Rolex. Danny, only answer questions on your channel. Get some new subs. I'm only going to answer questions on my channel. People don't like to be told to do things, I think. And even if Brandon says, hey, go watch Danny's channel, The King of Laundry, I know that I don't like that. And I've never said, hey, like and subscribe on my channel. I don't know. I know I'm supposed to. All right, Ron, thanks for the advice. Godfather 1 and 2 by far iconic. Yeah.
They're good movies.
Movies about business. Absolutely. I tell landlords all the time, not that I'm going to make them an offer they can't refuse, but I tell them that my offer is nothing. I say my offer is nothing. And I always kind of see, you know.
Cool. All right, I want to rapid fire answer a couple of questions. How's my trailer park doing? It's still going very slow, but we're cash flow positive on it, but just not significantly enough. I'm hoping another month down the road will be at better occupancy. You'll see me buy up farmland and real estate. Farmland, real estate, I'm hoping to do a farm video. I'm trying to get in on the purchase of one. Would I flip houses in Hershey, Pennsylvania? Sure, why not? I'll take I'll do this one.
I'm about to corrupt Brandon with alcohol. Alcohol.
How far is too far to own a laundromat?
Great question. This is rapid fire, right? Only you can answer that. Some people drive an hour and a half, commute an hour and a half in the city. They live in Connecticut. They take a train, a bus, and a cab every day. I'm not kidding. Airline pilots go 4,000 miles or 10,000 miles a day, right? So how far is too far? I haven't created these answers ahead of time, but they're obvious. People go an hour one way every day to a horrible job. So only you can answer how far is too far. With my system, you're going to have a contract attendant in your laundromat every time. You don't pay them. They do well. You do well. You don't want to be close to a laundromat because laundromats are in crappy neighborhoods. Hello? You don't want to live there. By the way, as I was building my stores and my route, if you will, of stores, my furthest store was about an hour from here, close to where Brandon thought he was on Sleepy Hollow. Sorry, my furthest store, did I say that, was about an hour away. But I wasn't driving an hour to the store. I was driving 20 minutes to my closest store, then going through the route. I hope that answers your question.
Oh, that's a pretty good answer. So could I turn my trailer park into Trailer Park Boys 2.0? I'd hope not. That's what I'm trying to avoid. What happened to the convenience store you were looking at buying? I'd have to look at which one of them. If it's the one I did the video on like a year and a half ago, I ended up buying my laundromat instead of the convenience store. Did you get a Ridge wallet or did I give that?
This is the Ridge wallet you gave me.
Great.
Thanks for that, buddy. Sits right here in my desk.
It's his desk.
It's
very useful.
I always think of you when I see it.
Are there any states particularly recommend or avoid your business model? I would think that Danny would say that his system works not only any state in the United States, but it would work internationally. Would you be down because your family is a wholesale business, you get all the materials you need for cheap? I mean, it's just I'm not willing to expand to other states right at this second. So it's just a situation of I'm trying to get all my stuff on lock in Ohio where I'm at now before I start to expand significantly. So that's what I'm working on right now. It was 2.5 hours in one direction. I've known people that have traveled 3 hours for a job, and if it's something you're willing to do, it's something you're willing to do. If it's not something you're willing to do, don't be miserable. That's what I would think about it.
Don't be miserable. I like that.
How's the supply chain for laundry equipment? When I ordered mine, I want to say it took like an extra 3 months to get my equipment. So that is what it is. Revised version of Trailer Park Boys, people want that money. I'm building a mobile TV studio. It's going to sit in my SUV. So
you better make him stick to that too.
I've essentially got a company that's going to pay for that 100% of the production costs.
Well, there you go.
That's essentially what it is. It's just getting a little bit more time to put the server in the car, get this camera, so the quality that you're seeing here is going to be the mobile quality, following me around. And I'm working on getting a cameraman that's willing to put in a 12-hour day because he's going to follow me around for whatever my time span is. So I work about 10-hour days. Sometimes I have 12-hour days. I need to make sure I have a cameraman that can keep up with that schedule.
I have to get a bottle opener.
Love to contact me as happy as possible. Mind if you watch all your videos, you love fixing houses. If you do keep it in mind, you love watching my videos. It's just the problem is I'm trying to figure out what does it look like in Brandon's life. As I expand my business my companies, like how long is it going to take before I am willing to expand into other states? And when I do, I promise, guys, I'm going to post about it on all my social channels, and we'll talk about it. And if I might reach out to people on social media to ask for help or who wants to come work for me. But it's a problem of I'm going to have to hire people to help me moderate the people that come in because I just get nonstop messages all day long. It's just absolutely incredible. Am I into playing video games? Yeah, but I like the really nerdy games, strategy games. Cool. Thank you, thank you.
Do you wanna smoke a cigar in here? You know that we can do that.
If you want to smoke a cigar, it's fine. I've never smoked anything in my life, and for better or worse, I don't intend to. So
You'd probably choke to death then if I was smoking it next to you. I don't inhale.
that's what Bill Clinton said.
And I've
This
never
is
done.
really good.
I've never taken an illegal or illicit drug in my entire life. Not into it.
My sound is
like I
going
said,
out. Let's see.
My parents were
Oh,
dopers. On my channel, the sound is going out.
no, they're not saying on my channel. I think it's probably this microphone. So get paid, business mentorship, a 2-4 for the cameraman. Yeah, I'm just trying to find people that are reliable because my problem with social media is people are like, I want to work for you. And then some of them are very, very poorly skilled and it just hasn't worked out very well.
Poorly skilled. I like the way you put that.
My personal assistant does all the stuff that isn't ultra technical for me. Like we're doing money giveaways. Like I'm giving away silver quarters I run into the laundromat. We're giving away my quarter counter machine because I got a brand new one. We're just doing giveaways and things of that nature. And when I start mailing that stuff out, she's going to do it because I can't. I am so busy. I will forget to go to the post office, so she handles stuff like that. So, yeah, I can turn up the audio on my computer, but so far it says it's in the yellow range.
Are they having problems with your? So this gentleman that owns this local dairy here in Arizona, he just picked up my upload of my program. Oh, I'm so technically not savvy. Okay, here it goes.
Show me a $300 day at the laundromat and you'll quit your job and work for you. That makes absolutely no sense.
He's trying to pull the line from Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay. All right.
By the way, a $300 day at the laundromat? Oof, no. I turned Brandon's sound up a little. This thing kind of has to be pointed at you, if it makes sense.
My face. Okay. You beware belong moving to other states. Regulations are completely different. Yeah, I understand, but that's why I would have to hire attorneys and lawyers to give me some understanding with regards to how to do it right.
Thanks for coming.
So, what are the hidden costs of owning a laundromat? I'm not sure because I try to talk about all the costs. Your primary costs are going to be water, gas, electric, and equipment.
The hidden costs of owning a laundromat, the fact that you have no idea what a top loader costs and what it's worth. The fact that you have no idea what a 50-pound tumbler, which is a dryer, costs and what it's worth. Now, I'm not picking on you. I'm telling you that this industry, the laundromat industry, has been broken for as long as I've been involved, and it's still broken. And even the industry standard people will tell you that what I'm saying is correct. There are no hidden costs. You've got gas, water, electric, sewer, trash, rent, which is finite. But when you go to retool your store, that equipment is typically being sold for twice its value. That's the biggest issue with laundromat ownership. It's how they're able to sell stores. I've got a brand new video on my channel, $725,000. This guy wants to sell a laundromat in New York City. And I spoke to the landlord, and the landlord says, he's crazy. He'll never sell it for that. And he's late on his rent. That's how this works.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
So there are no hidden costs. I can tell you about all of the costs. But if you get yourself into a problematic situation, it's because you didn't know what you should have been spending on said equipment.
Here's a good
Hey, now it's time to bury the hatchet with Hot Dogging with Dan. Here he is on my channel. Now they're talking amongst themselves on my channel. Hey, Ron, more content coming soon. I'm done dogging for... Stop talking to each other on my channel, you jerks.
So here was an interesting question. Did you see revenues decrease at laundromats with coronavirus?
Absolutely across the board, no. And yes. Here's what I saw. When Corona hit, you'd walk into a laundromat, and my students are scouting these stores, and they're putting photographs in front of me. Every day I'm calling landlords at your behest and on behalf of you. And I'm seeing pictures where they've taken the folding tables out of the laundromat. I'm seeing pictures where they're putting police tape on the folding tables. I'm seeing pictures where they're doing, I mean, we all know week 1 in coronavirus where we saw Walmart was saying, okay, we can only let 1,000 people in this Walmart. So we all queued up outside and lined up nut to butt and sat there and talked to each other this close, right? Incredible. So the procedures made zero sense to us. Guess what? A deeper answer is this. Laundromats are essential businesses. You can't have people running around with, I mean, the Black Plague, cholera, the biggest issues back in the 16th century, these diseases spread because of filth. So imagine, and by the way, there were certain states and areas where they actually said, you can't have your laundromat running 24/7. You have to close your doors. You have to do this or that. Yeah. You know what? The Coin Laundry Association, everyone's got an association, be it firearms or car washes. You're probably getting trade magazines that you don't want. Every business has associations, and the CLA stepped up. And in the small areas where they tried to close and make them close, they said, no, no, no. It wasn't like restaurants in New York. Oh, you don't need to go to a restaurant. Well, some people can't friggin' cook. Yeah. Deeper answer. I can talk about laundromats. The people that are trying to take over broken down, decrepit stores, my method, we flourished because we were scooping up stores. They were closing their doors. They were giving the excuse. Now, these landlords would figure out, especially when we call and say, they closed their doors because they wanted to. No one, I speak with authority when I speak to either a mom and pop landlord or a national chain or a major multi-million square foot landlord who has a property manager in the mix, a realtor or a broker. And I'm saying, no, that's not the case. Their doors should not be open. There's nothing stopping them from going into that store. I just had a video where I talked to a landlord 2 days ago. He said he had COPD and he had to close his door. I don't buy it. I said, when do you close normally? He said 10 p.m. Now I'm closing at 8. How's that changing anything? Go in there at 10 after you close and sweep up, collect the money. Anyone who allowed Corona to affect their laundromat business did it out of fear. And fear is massive. How many people are on this stream that are thinking, I'm scared to death to leave my job. I'm scared to death to start my own company or invest. I deal with fear a lot, and with me, there's no investment up front. You're scouting stores, you're going out. A lot of people I deal with have been looking at laundromats for years. Then they watch my stream and they say, wow, I didn't know what I was looking for. Or at. So it changes. He's getting tipsy. 5% alcohol.
Believe me.
Tell him about what Shelly made for dinner.
Oh, his wife made eggplant parmesan, and it was absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh, it's life changing.
It's like eating candy.
Yeah, it's incredible. She is an absolutely amazing cook. Let's see.
You don't have to apologize, Dan. I'm
invest
just
in
messing.
things that earn money. I agree. About a 110 record and a started a service yearly buried emails from AAA Association Touring. That's cool, Hugh. That's very good. That sounds like cartooning could be a good thing to be in.
Hot Dogging with Dan says, no hatchet to bury, no hard feelings. Good. He's going to unblock you, you jerk. If you're my friend, you're his friend. We off camera, we talk about YouTubers and all this stuff, and meet Kevin and who's the
Graham Stephan.
Graham Stephan. I was going to say Grant Cardone. Yeah. He's too big for you. He's got a helicopter.
Yeah, he has an air. Well, I think he sold his airplane.
He rented it. Look, I think that in YouTube today, what people want is reality and real reality. I mean, and it's hard for me. I'm 50 years old. I love everything about my life. My wife drives me crazy in a good way. My kids drive me crazy in a bad way. And life is phenomenal. I just want to share that with my friends. I was telling Brandon, I'll have 300 people in the backyard at a party. He's like, 300? Why did that number hit you so hard? Just like...
Which number?
When I said 300 people in the yard.
Because I just tried to imagine 300 people packed in his backyard. And I'm not saying
what does that mean, packed?
Like, oh my gosh, you're going shoulder to shoulder.
That's a small party.
So,
someone gave you $2.
$2. How long did it take you guys to be successful? How long did it take for you to feel successful?
Those are two separate questions. He said be, you said feel.
Oh, be successful.
I think that the first moment when I felt successful, I was 16 years old on stage in high school. So that's my answer. I found out that I could make people laugh.
Interesting.
And perhaps this guy or gal is asking about money or investments or property. I just bought 107 acres in northern Arizona. When I told Brandon that, he kind of, and I said, well, in Ohio, 107 acres, not a big deal. Arizona, 17% of Arizona is privately held. 107 acres is like, I own a housing tract. And most recently, for me, I brought my family up. My wife and I have stayed there. We've camped on the property. And we went to the corner of the property that I looked on Google Maps was the highest point. And we drove there. I wanted to make it a point to drive there. And I had my 3 daughters with me and my gorgeous wife. And we had the big truck. And we parked there and we looked down. And I said, holy crap. It's a Brandon thing. It was like looking at the Grand Canyon.
I can only imagine.
And I looked as far as the eye could see. I owned that.
Yeah, incredible.
That was a success moment for me. And I haven't built anything there.
Yeah, very nice.
I pooped on the property.
Yeah, we all
so I guess I did build something there.
There you go.
Change the thumbnail. Danny poops. I've only had a half a beer.
Yeah. So you'd have to define successful. Ira said that. I think for me, probably about being 3 years or 4 years into investing, probably 2-3 dozen properties that the cash flow would last me the rest of my life. Like probably cash flowing $6,000 a month. After I reached that point, I really felt like I was successful enough. I could take care of my family, be reasonable enough for the cash flow. I was like, okay, this is nice. So I think that was for me.
He's starting to burp from the long bow. Just so the folks at home know. All right, rapid fire. Here we go. Stop talking about stupid hot dog stands on my channel. You people are... All right, Dan, stop it.
I like talking about hot dog stands. It sounds like a fun business.
You should get with Dan and get some hot dog stands.
Technically own... Well, my car wash partner bought a hot dog stand.
Oof.
And his intention is to drag it around to the car wash and give away free hot dogs. So
I'm against anything that requires heavy licensing and or product. Mm-hmm. You know, in my system, you might be against it. I give away, for instance, the soda and snack. I don't want it. I don't want to deal with it. Now, you have a YouTube channel and your TikTok is massive because kids want to say, hey, I can get... And that's a great business to start. Mm-hmm. And I know people that have built empires on it. Water machines, bro. That's where the money is.
I was talking to somebody the other day and they asked if they would truck it out to Ohio if I wanted an ice machine, an ice and water
Oh,
vending machine. And I said, yeah, do that. And it's a $50,000 machine. It looked like a 20-foot Connex box.
Yeah, I have
Incredible.
I know a guy that builds those. I have low format water machines at all of my laundries, and it's a license to print money. Then I sold them all separate from the laundromats.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Never
I
heard
sold
that
them.
before. That's
I
cool.
sold them separate.
That's awesome. Wow. And make sure that if you're watching Danny's stream or my stream, make sure you click like on the video so it goes out to more people and it helps our metrics. So
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, someone made the statement that Arizona is a wonderful place to invest in. I agree 100%. TMSC or TSMC, the Taiwanese semiconductor factory, they're building one here. I was talking to my cousin in Lake Havasu earlier today, and he was saying that it's his girlfriend's cousin is one of the plant engineers there, and it's going to be life-changing because it's a $10 billion plant they're building outside Phoenix.
My cousin's ex-boyfriend's roommate saw Ferris pass out last night at 31 Flavors. So I guess it's pretty serious.
Hot Dogging with Dan asked investment real estate. When I find a property and the owner's willing to carry the financing, what's a typical interest rate for owner financing? I'd say 5 to 6%, but I've got a deal,
Just
one of my big deals. It's about $600,000 worth of seller carry on it, and it's a grand total of 3%. And I was trying to explain to people how insane a 3% real estate deal is, because I said inflation's going to eat the heck out of that. And it's essentially going to be an interest-free loan. And as it stands now, we ended up doing tech financing on it at negative 3% rate, this year because inflation's so bad. That's why you buy assets like these gold coins that Danny keeps showing. Because if you have a bunch of assets that are pure cash, or you don't own a business like a laundromat, see, as a laundromat operator, I have the option. As inflation goes up, guess what I can do? I can raise prices. We did have a question here, and they said, how hard is it to raise the prices? On my Dexters, I open up the panel with my key. I go in, and I press a couple buttons, and I change the price on them. My two oldest dirt top-load speed queens, you take a wrench, you pull the bracket out. There's claws in the Monarch, the coin acceptor.
20 minutes.
Yeah,
that's going to take a lot longer.
It's going to take 20 minutes to do the first one, but when I read
and you can never go down. You can never ask less once you pull those little deals out.
Well, I figured out how to do it one time because I accidentally pulled all the pins out. But you run the risk on Monarch coin mechanisms. You do run the risk of breaking the pins on them.
Easy for you to say.
Not easy to do. But
I have. Do you have one of these?
No, I'm looking at buying.
I'm
one
doing
right
the
now.
bada bing, bada boom.
Oh, okay.
See, you can't hear it. You don't have the ear.
It's awesome. What happened with the Pumpkin Festival? But the guy that blocked access didn't do anything with it because I don't want to sue the guy. I don't want to have any problems. We we had 23 acres for the festival, and
he's explaining to me what happened on his channel while he reads comments from my channel because he knows that I don't watch his videos and I can't possibly know. How ironic is that? It's like a house. It's like a house of mirrors.
Yeah. So I didn't do anything with it because I'm getting rid of the property. So inflation 6%, but it's at nearly 12 to 14%. The 5.7, 5.9, 6.2% rate that everybody's throwing around right now, that is that's core inflation. It doesn't include energy and it doesn't include food. Because if you included energy and food, it would be up to 12% right now. The idea is that gas prices are just all over the place and food prices are all over the place. So the federal government doesn't include those in core inflation.
The people in charge don't care about gas. Yeah. They don't care about the cost of a turkey, and they should. Ronald Reagan was famous for not knowing because a savvy reporters, when I was in high school, reporters, when you asked them why they wanted to do this job, to report the news. Now you ask any of them, they say, I want to change the world. That's not the job. Rush Limbaugh is dead. Let's put it that way.
So Hot Dogging with Dan says 3% on seller financing is insane. Average around there is 10 to 12% seller carry, mostly because they'd rather you get a bank loan. Yet on my channel, another guy says, I just did several deals. I just did 2 deals this summer, both at 6% seller carry. So,
You're wrong. Somebody's wrong.
Well, it's just I've got a deal
Reality.
with seller financing right now. It's 14%, and I'll do that deal in a heartbeat because we're going to clear $80,000 in 3 months on one deal, on a house flip, and I wanted to get somebody involved on that deal because it's their first deal with me. I said, I think
in a lot of your deals, if I'm right, you're not the money guy. You're the guy that does the legwork. You're the guy that does the sweat equity work.
Some of these, this one deal, I'm doing absolutely no work whatsoever.
Okay.
I mean, I literally found the project. I went driving for dollars, which is where you get a couple $100 and you start driving around and say,
it's the laundromat thing.
I need to find the owner of this property. The first person that gives me their phone number, I'm going to give them $100. And they got me the guy's phone number. And I called the guy and I said, you want to sell the place? He said, yeah, 40 grand.
Listen to this, everybody that asked me, how do I find the landlord? Those boots on the ground techniques. That's it.
And that's how you make the real money. And I've asked people this question, and I don't think, Danny, I've never talked about this thing before, but let's say you had a business.
For the first time.
For the first time ever.
You're about to hear it.
Let's say Danny's average laundromat is $1 million business. I don't know whether that's true or not, but let's say it's $1 million business. How much would it be worth if you had to scout 100 locations to get one laundromat deal, but it made you $1 million? Would that be worth it? Because then every location you scout's $1,000 in your pocket. And yeah, it's going to take some time for that to materialize, but I run into people, and laundromat scouting is no different. The car wash scouting is no different from real estate scouting, no different from any other business. You're going to spin your tires for a while, not being great at negotiating, which you can outsource the negotiation to some guy like Danny, and he'll do the negotiation for you.
Charge enough.
Yeah, I told Danny he's way too cheap. But you can outsource your negotiation to somebody else. But if you have to do it yourself, which I think is a good skill to try it. See if you fail. If you fail, that's okay. But
you know what? I'm going to give up the ghost here. Why not call landlords in other counties? Why not? I mean, and people still don't get good at it. I grew up like you did, knowing and understanding certain things. At Brooklyn, New York, my dad was a drug dealer. I mean, you can't have a kid next door that lives right next door to you that has the same skill set that I do. Sorry, I interrupted.
But if you had to go scout 100 locations for laundromats, it makes $1 million. It means every location you scout is $1,000. And if it took you 1 hour to scout a location, I don't know what that number is, but I think if you did 100 of them, it'd be an hour piece. That's worth $1,000 an hour to scout locations.
I think the problem is that most people look at that and they don't understand the return. Most people want to go trade their time for money. They would rather have a job. They'd rather have a just over broke. Look, Hot Dogging with Dan is on here. We're talking to him on my channel. He scooped up a free laundromat with my DVD and sold it and pocketed $30,000. It needed to be retooled. He said, you know what? I'm going to go back to doing hot dogs. So there's a great $30,000. By the way, Christmas list, a couple cigars. That's nothing to scoff at.
Absolutely.
If he wants to go after a dozen stores and end up earning tens of millions of dollars, it's a different scenario. It's easy money. I've owned a lot of I still own businesses. I have my fingers in pies, but the laundromat thing is the one thing that no one's telling the truth about.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah, and we've talked about this off camera a lot. There's people out there just absolutely inflating numbers on laundromats so severely that people are getting trapped in $500,000 laundromat bills to buy a location that's not profitable anyway. They're cooking the books or they're doing something.
So here's how they get away with it. There is no conventional financing to buy or build a laundromat. I'll say that again. You can't go to Wells Fargo or Chase Manhattan and get the money to buy or build a laundromat, period. Now that should scare you, right? No, it's a great business. But besides, if Wells Fargo is going to give you money, the banker, does he shake your hand? No. It's an algorithm. It's a computer, just like YouTube. So when you plug in the word laundromat, the computer says no. We're not going to lend them the money. So what happens? It's all private money. So you know who's buying laundromats? People that live in the dark.
Yeah.
The entire industry, this has been 40 years of this. Let me say it again. You cannot go through endemic financing to buy or build a laundromat. So I'm on Facebook watching people that say, oh, congratulate us. We just went through the due diligence process. We're about to pull the trigger on our laundromat. You know what those same people are doing 6 months later?
They're
asking for a business broker to sell their laundry because they bought a bill of goods. You know what I say? It's a great business. Don't buy it. Scout it. Call the landlord. Negotiate a lease. Retool it. The money you spend will be on a monthly payment for equipment. And then you're in your boat with your horrible, dingy little... No, it's nice now. His laundromat.
It's a lot better. And like I've said on my channel, my equipment bill is $16.50 a month.
Oh,
and most of it's...
that's a car payment.
Yeah.
Not
It's
a
for
car
some
that you would
people.
drive.
Not a car that I would drive, but it's $16.50 a month, like $1,200 a month is principal curtailment.
A brand new Escalade at 0% for 84 months. That's the best you could hope for. 0% money. This exists, right?
Yeah,
my Isaac score
interest-
is 820,
Yeah.
so I can go in. Shelly wants an Escalade. I told her, not yet. Thanks, Joe Biden. You're not going to get one for 6 months because they can't get parts from China. All right, we go in. We buy. I argue them down to $74,000, $84,000. 0%. My car payment costs more than your payment on your equipment, and it's a good deal.
Yeah.
Because all the money goes in the glove box. Brandon's getting ready to go to sleep. Are we going to drive around the neighborhood in the Humvee?
I don't know. We can. I'm not opposed to that.
With all the
But I can't
police
take,
lights?
But I can't take the camera rig with me, unfortunately. I mean, I can take my GoPro, but not the mobile rig, unfortunately.
Got a military Humvee with police lights.
We got a lot of. I got a decent bit of video about it today. It should look really great. Sun was going down, and it was pretty cool. What made Danny get started with the laundromat business?
I stopped having jobs in my late 20s. I started real estate at 28, and money was good. I started on a property ladder in Mexico, of all things, which is very, very risky. Now I own a penthouse outright down there. I got to give you that business card so you can stay down there. Dad was always a hands-on guy, and when I had all these companies and businesses, I thought, you know, I want to get back to brick and mortar. I want to do something brick and mortar. I had a need almost to do something with my hands, and I thought about what that thing would be, and then it hit me. Like everyone I deal with, everyone I consult with, they all have a story. Why do you want laundromats? Why are you reaching out to me? Well, I know Brandon. It's not a reason. I remembered this guy used to come into my bank where I worked as a merchant teller with a laundry basket of all things full of dollar bills wrapped in hundreds. This is in my online streaming content. True story, of course. Who could make this shit up? His name was Leroy Amon, and he'd come in with this. How much was he depositing?
Was it weekly or monthly?
Matter, because back then it was daily.
Okay.
$9,800. So he was trying to avoid the CTR, the currency transaction report.
Gosh.
Yeah.
And he didn't get in trouble for structuring?
We found out that he was going to not only our branch, but all the other branches with a laundry basket full of money. I remembered that.
That's incredible.
And I picked up the phone locally here in Phoenix, and I started calling distributors. And the first one that answered, I told that story to, and he said, well, that guy's name's Leroy. And I was like, how do you know? He said, that's my dad. So that was Randy Amon. Shout out to Randy Amon, who became my mentor, because very few distributors in this industry, even today, he talked about failure. He talked about fear and failure, the F words that business people don't, that gurus don't talk about, fear and failure. I love it. I have a whole webinar this year about the fear of failure.
Hmm.
And you need to talk about it. You need to own it. You need to go to sleep at night knowing that you're going to crush. Write that down.
Okay. Clip it out of the live stream, guys. At 1 hour, 45 minutes. It's like,
Brandon's batteries are running so
it's just,
low.
I
could just
I
tell.
was up.
You
for
showed
22
up.
hours.
He shows up here after 45 minutes being in the wrong address,
Yeah.
almost getting raped and murdered and robbed. And he gets here and he's like, we both wanted to talk. And I'm like, no, save it for the live stream. And then, of course, we talk and talk and talk. And
Yeah, we talked for like 3 hours. Trying to fix the computer. The hard drive fell out.
The hard drive fell out. It's fine.
I think TSA shook it too much to see if there was a bomb or something.
BPL Media. Yup. The problem these days I see is the industry hasn't moved forward with the times as a whole, but the ones who are implementing delivery services, card, app, etc., too many operators who don't care. So I agree and disagree. It's about caring, yes, but not about tech. Laundromats are not a tech industry. They never will be. It's the opposite. The people that come in, there's so many operators that won't have a plug. They don't want them on the walls because they're scared to death that some poor guy is going to plug in and steal their electricity while they charge their phone.
Oh, yeah.
That's old moronic thinking. That's the disconnect between tech and trying to collect dimes. I had a guy tell me, in all the stores I've scouted, I had a guy tell me, I don't have plugs because someone going to steal my nickel.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Stepping over nickels and avoiding dollars, right? Something like that.
Yeah. It's easy. It's easy to get so fixated on those small things and then you lose money on the big stuff. But you've just got to be, from my perspective, you've got to just try to pay attention to everything.
John has an awesome comment on my channel. By the way, I really have to thank you two. I'm a 100% disabled vet who thought I was going to have to be satisfied with my pension. Now I know I don't. I'm going to have a much better future. God bless you, John. That means a lot, bro. I got blowed up and shot, and I was fortunate. Some of the guys with me were not. So thanks for your doing of all that.
American Patriot on my channel said, you guys in Phoenix? Yes, we're in Phoenix. How long? I'll be in Phoenix till probably tomorrow at 4 o'clock. I think that's when I'm flying back to Ohio.
I'll be out of Phoenix before Brandon's out of Phoenix because Daniela and I are driving to Salt Lake, Utah tomorrow to shoot a 3-gun match.
Yeah. But I'll be here till 4 o'clock, and I mentioned about having a quick get together for anybody that watches my content online. I did an Instagram post, so if you want to hang out at some point, I think one of my mods lives in Phoenix, and he said that there's a really good wing restaurant that he goes to, and he wants to take me to.
There's no such thing as a really good wing restaurant.
He swears there's a really good wing place here in Phoenix.
No.
Or down in Phoenix.
Who goes out to eat wings? Sorry, I'm a food snob. I'm a food snob.
I like wings.
You admitted you don't have a decent restaurant in your county.
We don't, but I do like wings, so it should be obvious. Do you have any thoughts on dry cleaners? We've had 2 or 3 dry cleaner questions.
No. Don't know anything about it. Asking me about dry cleaners is like asking me about dry cleaners. No.
Yeah.
Different thing. You end up with clean clothes. I go to dry cleaners. Most of the people that go to laundromats don't. Yeah. So it's an entirely different business, different chemicals. I would say don't do it because now there's so many environmental concerns. There will never be, now they're doing this non-chemical dry cleaning. I mean, remember Jerry Seinfeld was like, there's a guy in the back. There's a guy in the back doing this. That's dry cleaning. That's what it is. They're just hilarious. In the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
They stopped using kerosene, and then they started using, I can't remember the chemical that gives you cancer, and now they've gone to steam. Steam works okay, but then there's another chemical they use that I've heard it's not working out.
Perk chemical.
Yeah, the perk's the one that's the problem.
Jeff Marner, I point out my plugs to new customers. Good for you, Jeff. people need that. They're stuck there. They're in the airport. They want to be able to plug in. They're going to blame American Airlines.
Someone told me I should try the China buffet in Phoenix. They have good crab legs. Danny's going to have a seizure tonight. He's going to have a brain aneurysm.
The China buffet.
His wife.
Just listen to that.
Her wife and children are going to be father and husbandless by tomorrow morning.
I told you. We talked about this. I would love to be an overweight, fat guy. I love to eat. I love it. All things, my grandmother said, all things in moderation. And I don't want to waste a meal at the China buffet. I don't. I wouldn't do that. So if you're local, same individual, tell me your favorite steakhouse. You might impress me. How about Dominic's? They have a pool on the top floor.
That's in...
You can sit by the pool and eat. Scottsdale.
Interesting.
Scottsdale.
So
Yeah.
Bill Chenault has a question on your channel, and it's, how long have I been running my text message opt-in campaign? And that's been going on for about 6 months now. Works very, very well. So there's a bunch of commands that you can use at my 740-217-4809. So if you text like gold, you'll get on the list. You'll get a $10 in free gold. You can also text about the NFT that's coming up. That's going to be insane. It's going to be totally awesome. You can text, I think it's a counter. That'll be for the giveaway when we give away my coin counter. That's all my YouTube videos. Because I got a brand new one, and it's a high volume one. It's pretty nice for my vending machines. So,
by the way, Bill Chenault is the microchip to my Punisher. He does all my thumbnails, and I spent a good 8 minutes screaming at this guy that he needs to use Bill for his thumbnails, and he just kind of sloughed it all off.
I'll probably give him a try.
He's going to email it. And I told him, Bill, that you are all about using text messaging campaign, and I'm just too stupid to listen. So if you circle back with this guy, Shinsaki, and we end up doing we're definitely going to start working together a lot more. So that'll be good. I love Bill.
Really cool
Bill made the thumbnail for this video.
In like 5 minutes.
Yeah, in 5 minutes. And what time is it there, Bill? He's in Kansas City, so let the internet answer.
Sure.
Night owls. Where's your hotel?
I have no clue.
Don't you love it?
It's in
no idea.
Yeah, I have no clue because
Do you have HBO?
Do I at home? Oh no,
not at home.
No, I doubt it. Yeah, I have no clue where I'm staying tonight. I'm sure it's in a text message.
Dude, if she sent you to
once again
Phoenix,
yeah, it's incredible.
Slayer.
Yeah, I almost died. Anyway, so it's almost 1 a.m. For Bill.
This guy has 1 million followers on YouTube, yet he's reading my comments with my 11,000 puny people because it's bigger. Like you can actually see it.
I can see it.
My uncle bought Kadir says, my uncle bought a laundromat, which you should know, Kadir, is not a laundromat. It's a laundromat. It's not 2 words. In California, sorry. Nobody wants to be in California. He's planning on getting with some small machines in there. He's planning on getting new ones. Should he pay for them one shot or get a contract with a company? All right, I'm not going to pick on you for the question. What your uncle should do, he should literally email me because your uncle, Kadir, owns a laundromat. So he has 3 choices. Do nothing, start earning serious money in that store, or fail. And the first and third option are the same. I'm not kidding. Have him email me. Danny@freelaundromat.com. I'll answer the emails. And Kadir, I'd like you to look up on my YouTube channel, she lost $300,000. Go look it up. This is an hour-long video where I consult with a woman who spent $300,000 on a laundromat, lost every penny.
Yeah, and I wish that I could say, "Oh, this is just with the laundromat industry," but I meet so many people, they get sold a bill of goods and the business doesn't exist.
They've worked their whole life. I don't care if they're shoe salesmen or they've owned their own small business, and they've put money away. They've scrimped and saved. They never went to a steakhouse. Then they decide, this is my big out, and they get robbed. Yeah. That's really sad, really sad.
Yeah. And and I'm not saying that business brokers are unethical, but I'm going to say that business brokers are unethical. Because
how about I say fuck them, because what they do, hey, I'm interested in a nail salon. Okay, well, let's look at these. And then for a week you look, and then you say, we should look at my channel. I'm literally talking to brokers. Yeah. I have a video, Bill, Bill knows. Okay. I have a video that says, business brokers will make you broke. And it's me live talking to a business broker, and I get him to admit in 10 minutes that the business is worthless. He's looking past me.
Interesting.
If I show up at your garage and I'm an old greasy Harley guy, and you open the garage door and you want 10 grand for this bike, and you say, hey man, it's brand new. It lived in my grandpa's barn. And I look at it and I go, the brake pedal is all worn down, bro. How does it have no miles on it? You know, I know bikes. There's a huge pile of oil over there 5 feet away. Did you just move the bike? Then I run my hand underneath and I get a bunch of oil. What's my point? You now, as the seller, are looking past me and saying, get out of my garage. I'm going to close the door and sell it to the next sucker. That's what business brokers do. Yeah. And I'm not interested in selling you this business. I want the next guy that knows nothing, that has saved his entire life to lose that money.
Yeah. And let me talk about this, because I had a business broker before we talked, and he was, I won't say the state, but it was really close to Ohio. And he was like, can you advertise this laundromat that I have for sale? And I said, you know what? I would love to do this. I said, here's what I want. I will actually come to Indiana to look at this.
You just said it was in Indiana. He's drunk, bro.
Okay, no. Okay, so it was in Indiana, but I guess I won't screw up and say where it was in Indiana. It was in Indiana.
What's the business broker's name?
I'd have to go through my email because it's still on there. So this business broker said he had a laundromat for sale, and the deal was, I said, I will come to your state, and I want to look at the books of your laundromat, and then we can talk about my channel, how much money this laundromat makes. And it was like, slam on the brakes. No, I don't want to do this. I just want you to send people to me. And I said, really? Because you just told me you had a very successful, very profitable laundromat, and I wanted to tear it down and show people how much money it really makes so they can make a honest evaluation.
Here's what it sounds like. That's my cricket sound effect.
No, he started to try to bribe me.
And a business broker in Indiana?
I can't remember how much money it was.
Was it John Everett? No, I'm just making that up.
I'd have to, I've got the email still, because they sent it to my regular email address. And I was like, oh, this is really weird. He's like, I'll offer you like 5 or 10 grand to,
because he's going to make 80.
Yeah, because I'm like,
but wait. All right. So, wait, this is serious. Yeah. How could this business broker sell that business and ever hope that no one would find out? Yeah. Serious question. I know the answer. How could he possibly hope to sell that business to someone, some poor, unsuspecting, otherwise successful person? How could he hope to sell it to them when you have a huge following, or maybe you don't, or maybe no one knows you? I'm serious, Brandon. Answer the question. How could he hope to do that and never get caught?
Yeah, and I just don't understand, because it was...
I do. How could he hope? Let's say that you took $10,000 and he made 80 and he sold that laundromat for 400,000 or 5 or 6. You know why? I'll tell you why. Exactly why. It happens day in, day out. Because the people that buy it are embarrassed.
Yeah, that's got to be it. That's
because the people that buy it,
they don't want to admit.
I'm so steeped in this industry, I'm watching on Facebook where people buy it. They're at cocktail parties. Oh, hello, lovey. How are you? Gorgeous. Yes, your wife looks lovely. How did you do in the Hamptons? Absolutely fabulous. How's your daughter? Oh, she's playing tennis now. How's that laundromat? Doing wonderfully. I think we may sell it. They're not going to tell the truth. The truth is, I got royally punched in the bunghole and I've lost my store, governor. That's the truth of it. I'm being serious. I'm being funny, but serious.
Yeah.
Time and time again, these people at cocktail parties don't want to talk about their failures. And laundromats will fail you if you don't know what you're doing.
Now, and what's interesting is it wasn't a laundromat, but I know of a business where they have been running a $50,000 to $200,000 yearly deficit for 10 years. And they tried to pawn this business off on me. And they said, you should go and take a look at this. Because it was a real estate agent operating as a business broker because they're packaging the real estate with the business. He's trying to fix it. And they're trying to package this business. And I got access to the actual real finances because I was able to find out where they're relying.
It's gross. It's disgusting.
Absolutely incredible.
It's grotesque. But the bottom line is, in every scam, there's greed and there's a sucker. Mm-hmm. In every scam. So the greed is, oh, this laundromat is a cash business. You're going to make... But then you look at it and you're either the sucker or you're out. That's it. Don't ever buy a laundromat. You didn't buy yours. None of my success stories bought theirs. Yeah. I bought my first store, never did it again. Built an empire. You gonna find your hotel?
At some point. I'm still...
Rapid fire? You're still awake?
I'm still awake. I'm alive. I'll make it. Who cares? Yeah, it's just incredible.
Tell them about gold.
So we've got a deal. There's a company you can get. They're called Vaulted, but I don't have the link available just yet.
How terrible. So in the meantime, make the money to get the gold. This is my gold. Yeah. Forget about Vaulted, whoever they are.
10 grand right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's only, but what is that? It's fun. It's only money.
It's fun.
It's not about the money. Sounds. It's the stuff you can buy with it.
Yeah.
I get pissed about filling my gas tank.
I was in California today for about full 30 minutes, and I took a picture of the gas station. It was almost $6 a gallon. I could not believe it. It was incredible, absolutely incredible.
Thanks, Biden.
And this inflation is going to kill a lot of people. And for me, with my businesses, we've been just raising people's rent. I felt very, very happy that I had not raised rent on any of my tenants ever. And then last year was the first year I ever raised rents. We did like 8% increase across the board. And I'm looking at pricing now.
You're a terrible slumlord.
Yeah, I get those complaints. I get those messages once in a while. And I'm looking at pricing this year.
You're not listening to the inflection. You're a terrible slumlord. You're not a terrible slumlord. You're a terrible slumlord. I'm saying you're not slumlordy enough.
Okay. I get the inflection now. So, would you be interested in putting a Joker poker machines in the laundromats? I do not believe that is legal in the state of Ohio. So you have to put it back in the garage or in the basement of the laundromat.
Then yes.
Then we never do.
If there's something illegal we can do, talk to me.
So. Oh,
Daniela's on.
Daniela's on.
Daniela, go to bed.
She like in the other room.
Yeah. Come in here, Daniela. Do you meow?
We have a bigger influencer than Danny.
Yeah.
If she comes out of she stops playing on her Switch.
Do you meow? We have all these. Look, I have this 18-year-old competition shooter who happens to be my kid, and we spend 70, 75 hours. This week, we'll spend 110 hours together this week.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And my wife, so your wife comes in and she says, I'm worried about our 17-year-old daughter. And you know what I say? Please. No. Never happen. The other two kids, I don't know them very well. Which is typical.
Yeah. It's amazing. I've got to get some gold ounce coins at some point in the near future. I like the weight of them. They're much more weighty than Silver Eagles, but the Silver Eagles in my
Well,
pocket.
what weighs more, an ounce of silver or an ounce of feathers?
I would say an ounce of gold weighs more. I get it. I'm not that asleep, guys. I promise.
Kadir comes back, and how do I own a laundromat without buying it? Kadir, we talked about your father earlier. He needs to email me. You need to click the link on my video or Brandon's video and literally get into my system. I have free, how do you do free? Newsletter. You're going to get more. It's a newsletter. It's all about this. None of this is magic. It's just laundromats. Laundromats, I talk to landlords on a weekly basis who I say, hi, I'm Danny D'Angelo. They're on, the calls are live on my channel. They don't know me. They own a building and a laundromat. They operate them and they don't know me because they've never bought. This is such a small niche. Can you imagine that? That's the catch-22, that they still don't know who I am. And Kadir, you're on my channel and want to ask me, how do I own a laundromat without buying it? Through a lease negotiation, that's the answer. I'm not meaning to diminish or belittle the question because you should never buy one. Silver weighs more as it's a troy ounce. Okay, thank you. I love that.
A nice technical answer.
People are getting funny.
Awesome.
What are you doing over there?
Sending cash out money to people.
You're sending cash out money?
Yeah, to people because
Brandon's going to send cash out money. Cash app money to people. Let's find out where your hotel is right now, because you might have to sleep in my front room.
I will go sleep in my car at night. No,
you probably will.
I not want to do that live because I hate Expedia.
Oh God.
My assistant's been doing everything through Expedia, and it took me like an hour to check in. I love
a hit
Kim
squad.
Kim's amazing.
You're gonna love Kim to death.
With Expedia, I'm not too big of a fan on how they're setting it up.
.com. Well, Expedia, so you can save $12.
I'm not the one booking all my stuff. She is. So.
Let me show you the house we're staying in Utah.
You raise 1 year's from $850 to $950. Several others increased $90 a month too. We're under rent anyways. That's what I'm finding out, and it's the rent control thing. I hate rent control. It's awful. But
Daniela and I are staying. Sorry, go ahead.
Go show me a picture.
In this house in Utah.
But so like with rent control, you're limited on raising your prices. And
do they do that in Ohio?
No, they're wanting to in Columbus, but I think
that's a big thing in New York.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrible. It's abysmal. So what happens is with rent control areas, you have to raise rent every month or every year, and I haven't raised rent really much at all. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's an Airbnb.
No, but this is where we are staying.
Wow, that's a gorgeous.
Because
Airbnb.
Why not? It's $200 a night.
No way. That's incredible.
It's St. George, Utah. This is my room.
Wow.
This is her room.
That's awesome. That's amazing. It's a nice looking kitchen and bathroom. Wow.
Yeah, dude. It ain't.
And bunk beds.
You got some kids you want to bring?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Why would you stay at a Marriott when you can stay in a mansion?
Yeah, that's a gorgeous house.
Jeff Marner, do landlords call you out and ask for specifics on the laundromats you own when you tell them you own 36? I thought you didn't own any. I assume they are just owned by people. So great question, Jeff. Landlords do ask me specifically, hey, how many stores do you have? That's a great question. So I want to answer that in toto. Never lie in business. So the number that I use is the stores that I had previous. And if I use the numbers of my students, I'd say, well, I have thousands of laundromats, bro, in every state in 38 countries. So there's a fine line. And then if you're working with me, I send an email that's a canned email. It has before and after pictures of my actual stores that shows what we do. All I'm doing, I'm not selling magic beans. What I'm telling these landlords is, or their agents, we're the best possible laundromat operator. Look, you've got choices. Get rid of the laundromat, vanilla the space, hope to put an optometrist in there, or bring the best laundromat operator in you can. And my confidence in that discussion is what makes them think you, Jeff, are the best possible future operator. That's a really good question. It's fun reading questions that you don't know the end of the. I'm just waiting for them to be like, and by the way, I knew your sister in high school. Oh, God. Daniela apparently is meowing. She's not going to come in here. I'm done. I'm ready to. I mean, how long are we going to do this?
However late you want to go.
2 hours.
Are you sleepy? If you're sleepy.
I'm not sleepy. I want to go shoot fireworks. What else did you do today?
Me? I drove 6 hours.
That wasn't the most fun thing you did today. St. George is a very cool town.
Yeah, I've never been to Utah.
Message retracted? John, what did you write? Oh, I guess he retracted it.
Yeah,
Bill's moderating, so
okay, cool.
Good for you, Bill.
Yeah. Roosters in Columbus. I love Roosters in Columbus. Danny says, you're not a fan of wings, but Roosters in Columbus has really good wings.
Is that a chain?
It's an Ohio chain. It's like City Barbecue. Ohio has City Barbecue. We have Roosters, and City Barbecue is absolutely wonderful barbecue, and Roosters is really great wings. Oh my goodness. So we've been talking about inflation on and off. Danny gave me a American Silver Eagle, so I will keep this one, but I will give away probably a Morgan that I have. I ended up getting some Morgans recently on a really weird business deal, and there's we're gonna start giving away weird money that
I just found out this is worth more than.
I could find out how much an MS-70 is worth.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But,
once you have that mindset that it's just bullion, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and I can't get past that with something like that.
But you don't own hundreds and you don't own thousands of ounces. So
I don't own thousands of ounces. I do have hundreds of ounces.
Yeah.
But it's all junk. It's mostly junk silver and Morgans. So,
when the world comes to an end, ammunition and gold and silver is all that's going to matter.
And we did a video. I will talk about ammunition a little bit because that is for me an absolutely amazing inflation hedge. And I did do a YouTube video on it, and I managed to not get demonetized. But I did a video about me selling 22 long rifles.
Oh yeah, that was horrible. I watched part of that.
You did?
I watched like 4 minutes of it.
So I bought cases of it for 3/4 of 1 cent per piece, and I resold it.
But okay, here's why I click off. Really? Like, I mean, come on.
I filled up an SUV.
How much money did you make?
$5,000. I filled up an SUV with it.
Yeah, but how much time did it take you to make that $5,000?
Oh, probably 4 hours. It's fun. It's an enjoyable thing for me.
Okay.
I like it.
As long as you enjoyed it.
Yeah, but Jenny's asking a question and Thomas is asking a question. Like, at some point, we're going to do regular meetups in Central Ohio. I would like to. I was talking to, it wasn't Graham, but I'm trying to think of who I was talking to yesterday. But I would like to do a meetup, like a yearly meetup in Vegas, maybe a yearly meetup somewhere in Texas, and then a quarterly meetup in Central Ohio.
I had 16 of my laundromat operators in Vegas last year.
I saw the pictures of it.
Yeah, and that went so sideways.
Really?
It was awesome.
Good. Okay, good sideways.
We started walking, so we had no plan after the roundtable meeting.
Okay.
These operators, and look, I mean, it was a couple $1,000s to be in the room with me for an hour. And then I said, look, I appreciate all you being here, coming out from all over the world. Let's have some fun. So I pull out a wad of cash and I say, let's go. We go down to the lobby and we walk across the casino floor with 4 cameramen with 4K cameras and night suns, right? And I know what's going to happen. Casino security is going to descend on us like a SWAT team because you can't film in a casino without permission. Oh. And we were, yeah. And then, yesterday. You can have a phone and cameramen and night suns.
Okay.
So 40-inch LED panels. one of my guys says, "Hey man, can you light my cigar?" So we stop, and I'm lighting his cigar, and out of the corner of my eye, I see people running,
Oh
and
my
I'm
gosh.
and I'm like, I looked at him and like in slow motion, I go, "This is not," and then he just jumped on us from every direction.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
really cool. I have it all. Bill's gonna work on it.
Oh my goodness.
And Carl, my cameraman, he holds it. They're like, "Shut that off! Shut that off!" And "Shut that off!" And Carl puts the camera down. He's good, so he knows. He's like still filming.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, he's
That's
holding it down.
absolutely
He's like,
hilarious.
"It's off! It's off!" I'm like, you can't. I said, "I'm a guest of the hotel. I'm a guest." They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, good. I said, "Where are you going? Where were you going?" I said, "We're going to the rooftop." "No, you're not. You're leaving premises." So I said,
Oh my
"Great."
gosh.
So we
That's
turn
incredible.
right. We turn right. We walk out the biggest double doors, and there's a guy sitting there smoking a cigarette with a party bus. I said, "Hey, are you booked?" He's like, "I'm booked in an hour." "Not anymore. Take the money out." I buy the party bus,
This
and
is
we
insane.
all, we
This
all
is
climb
amazing.
on. And we didn't go murder anyone, although we did have a chopper pilot with us who's a Marine Corps helicopter
goodness.
pilot, one of my students. And I'm like, "Dude, do you have any idea what it's like to go around with a guy in a cowboy hat who's a Marine chopper pilot with a bottle of champagne under his arm who could literally," I said, "Do helicopters even have keys?" He's like, No. I said, "So we can just steal a helicopter?"
Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
I'm like,
That's
of course we don't. I mean, we're just
well,
idiotic
if,
white guys.
If you did or didn't, you got away with it because
Yeah.
you're sitting here right now.
Oh yeah, no. Never
Gold, silver,
convicted.
roosters, what you got now this so far? Hey, I'm
Never
glad you learned
convicted.
something, Jenny, from Central Ohio.
Rapid fire. All right, how do we wrap it up? Let's wrap it up. Let's just wrap it up.
Ask
Then we're going to
questions.
drive around.
Ask questions very quickly.
Rapid fire is the way we end. Do you do these all the time? Do you do these lives all the time?
Not enough, but we're going to be doing, just as an FYI, I'm starting a live stream show, and we're going to bring cameramen and just follow me around through my week or my day as a
I don't
laundromat
believe
owner,
it.
stuff like that. The intention is to be on Thursdays all day. No, it's hard cider. Danny's really upset at me.
I'm drinking double IPA, which is 9.5% alcohol, and he's had 1.5 hard ciders, which is my grandma
Yeah.
pregnant.
Yeah. In the state of Ohio, there's quite a bit of hard ciders that are not considered alcoholic. So.
Hard? Alcoholic? They're talking amongst themselves.
Okay.
Ammo, food, gold, silver. Good for you. Ammo and food are great. You know what? You, Akio, are hoping the world comes to an end, and I'm with you. I have not only food, ammo, I have to admit, Daniela and I shoot about 6,000 rounds a month, and I have no ammo. Like, I have stuff for the belt feds, but I have no ammo.
I have not seen much ammo in the secret safe and
No.
anything here.
The hordes are gonna attack now.
The zombies are going to come. So, gold
Talked
dollar,
about
silver,
my
tin.
hair, your hair, gold and silver.
Where's my meetup? I'm trying to think of the best way. Just email me at brandon@investmentjoy.com.
When are you doing a
meetup? Somewhere in Phoenix tomorrow before I get on the airplane.
Oh,
So
it was nice knowing you.
sorry. It'll probably be at the trailer park I almost got stuck at for the rest of my life.
Brandon is not meeting anyone tomorrow. He's going to sleep in.
My wife was going to get my $1 million life insurance policy.
That's the camera right there, by the way. Just let's give Bill a nice. All right, Bill, take a snapshot. Now we're not looking at it.
Oh.
Because this is the last time you'll see this man if he does a meetup.
Yeah. If you want to post the address for where we're going to meet up tomorrow, then just email me. I don't know what time we're going to meet up at.
I apologize. He was supposed to hang out with me tomorrow, but
Yeah,
we're
just
leaving.
Communication.
Next time
issue.
he comes back, we're going to go shoot a match. We're going to do the whole.
Sam Fish keeps asking this question about parabola or something like that. I have no clue what you're talking about.
Parabellum?
No. Parabolic. IBA. I have no clue what that is, unfortunately. So
If it has to do with guns, this guy's an expert.
I don't know about that. I know a little bit.
Dan, hot dog with Dan, we're all missing on this live with Drunk Santa. I know, that was so good. That was so fun, really. Danny, how many laundromats do you own? OUN? I own now. None, 0. I sold my stores. I got out. I became the expert. None. Wah, wah. How do you do wah, wah? No, that's not it. There's a mystery. I don't know. Oh, there it is. I have all these buttons. I don't know how to work them.
Yeah. I'm looking at getting a control deck like he has here.
Oh, it's great.
I need one.
I'm hearing all the things.
Oh, okay. I guess he has an earpiece in. So.
I have 9 people watching on my channel.
Wow, you were at 20 just a little bit ago.
I know.
It's odd.
Oh, 10.
Most
of them hate me. They're scared. They come in here and they go, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. It's just fun. We should turn this off, and then I'll teach you how to do a live without going live. You're going to love it.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'll get off of here. And
How many?
69 right now.
That you don't answer the things?
What?
All right. Somebody give Brandon $4.99 and ask the final question. Here we go. You've got literally 10 seconds to do so, and we're going to answer it in toto.
Thank you, Jenny. You've made a lot of comments. You've been on the stream for like 30 or 40 minutes.
Thank you, Jenny. Is she from Australia?
No, she is from... We've had like 5 people from Australia today. It must be like new...
Go check my channel, kingoflaundry.com, and I have 2 or 3 success stories in Australia.
I know I've talked to at least one of them.
Yeah.
So I didn't get my $4.99. So Tom, let's see.
John Zinke, I'm the only person you've ever yelled at in one of your videos. No, you're not. I'll yell at some other people.
Vito asked a question, where am I finding fix up cheaper houses? I just go around town and ask. I look for dumpy houses to buy. I just ask questions. I have not bought a house on the market that's actually listed, because I'm of a mindset with housing like you are with a business broker. I don't buy a listed property. I just call around and ask, and I make a deal with a person that is in direct control of that property, and that's how I make my deals.
Jeff Marner says, I've talked with one of your Australian success stories. Thank you, Jeff, for doing that. That's creepy to me. All you people talking amongst yourselves. They're real people. Dan gave me $5.
Oh, my goodness.
Shout out my channel on Brandon's channel. Oh, shit. Hot dogging with Dan.
I got a $30 silver. So if
I got a nickel.
If Danny gets a $5 super chat, I'm fine.
Go follow Hot Dogging with Dan.
No, I will not say that.
He's awesome. I love. You know what? I like that kid, and I think he has a problem with people that have big YouTube followings. I think that's his thing.
It's a following. It's
yeah,
a subscriber.
he has following envy, and I don't care. Ouch! Now everybody's laughing over here. Go follow my channel.
Yeah,
that's funny that he gave me $5 instead of. I didn't think anybody would give me $5.
Gee, thanks.
He's literally hurt by the $5, Dan. Good job.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep today, and it won't be the alcohol talking. So it's Danny D'Angelo, the King of Laundry. That's his channel name. Just go on search. But it's in the description below in the video. Just click on the button and go click it. Go subscribe real quick. So
or not.
Do it. You should.
We have had so much fun with you, but more fun with ourselves.
I don't know. The big thing is, it's like, so when I was at Graham Steffen's house yesterday, like they had a guy filming there, and then he turned the camera off, and then something silly would happen, and it would be like, oh, we weren't filming it. Great. And it's like, now we're going to do it again.
Why don't you have the camera running?
Yeah, and it was a really odd thing. And I've mentioned to a lot of people that they don't understand that, like, I only post like 10% of the stuff that happens to me. I mean, there's good and bad that I get missed out on. So, and my desire is to have the cameraman running the whole day.
Hence the new format
for the show.
Jinx.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I think it's phenomenal. Plus, every show you go to Krispy Kreme. Are there tourists in there in that Krispy Kreme?
I think so.
There has to be.
Man, they're. It's so funny because
Is the donut? Have you ever had one outside of Chillicothe?
Like, I mean,
A Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, like
Outside of it.
No, well, there's two kinds of Krispy Kremes because there was a lawsuit. There's a KK, which is Krispy Kreme with K's, and those are like manufactured in a plant in northern Ohio, and they're all right, I guess.
Yeah.
But then Krispy Kreme makes everything in Chillicothe near the laundromat. There's one of those, and
they run through
phenomenal.
A conveyor and all that stuff. Yeah.
And they like dump it in grease and all this stuff, and they're just absolutely amazing. So in Chillicothe, that is the top-rated donut in the state of Ohio, and they're like top 3 in the Midwest.
Top-rated state of Ohio. I don't even care about donuts, and I will walk over glass to get,
Oh my gosh.
The first time I had a Krispy Kreme was in Vegas.
Really?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And there was a girl handing out whole donuts, but then you realize that the company itself went public and got kicked off NASDAQ and the whole You don't know the story?
No.
Oh,
gosh.
There's a story to look up. Yeah.
I got my $5.
They were
get
destroyed.
an Arizona meetup in the near future. Thanks for the info, guys. Have a
Yeah,
good night.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. We're
Tomorrow.
going to eat wings. So
Tomorrow. Please go to an Erto's. Do you already have a place? Go to a Filiberto's or a Ramiro's.
Well, I don't know when my plane leaves, so I might.
Okay.
I might do lunch
early
and then
tomorrow.
Filiberto's.
Okay. Go to a Filiberto's, a Ramiro's. For the love of God, don't go to a chain.
Okay.
For the love of God.
And I'm going to break Bill's heart right now. If you are large enough on YouTube, shorts are monetized.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Shorts
cry
are not
about that.
monetized.
They are.
Thank you, Bill.
I get a check every month from their shorts fund, and it's not much money, but I mean,
This guy, zero skill, all luck.
you want to
Hard work. All right, what's the closing statement?
I don't know.
It's nice
Fun.
to
Very
live in a small house with lots of money in the basement. .com. Done.
Okay.
End stream.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Danny's channel. Hit the bell on the notifications so you can get updated on anything interesting. Especially
Who taught you to
when
say all
he
that?
goes live or I go live.
Why, who taught you to say all that?
People bigger than me on YouTube.
You just say it? That's what grosses me out, all that. Like, make sure you like and subscribe.
It helps my.
Do they listen?
Yeah. Because what people do is they're like, oh, I'm going to go like the video, and then they forget. So it's just constant.
These
remind
people
to
are
do
so
it.
ignorant that they need you to tell them to like and subscribe. All right. Prove him wrong and me right, and go subscribe to my channel.
Well, I said you should subscribe to Danny's channel and hit the bell on his notifications.
We're live right now. I got 12 people on here. Good night, everybody.
All right, guys. Getting off for real this time. Thank you all for watching. All right. Cool.